Kneel Before Blog presents Kneel Before Pod.
Hello and welcome to the Kneel Before Pod 100th Podcast Spectacular.
Yay!
We are live on Facebook and it's Saturday night.
Yay!
So I am here in my living room, which is now a studio with all of these cables and mics. And we are, for our 100th episode, we are recording with everybody, minus two, in the room. And we are going to just basically give ourselves a huge pat on the back for getting here. So to my left, we have the destroyer himself, someone who does actually understand a metaphor, Andrew.
Hello.
And to my right is a couch, but on my left-hand side of the couch is a man who has a suit for every occasion. It's Angus.
Toast.
Toast. Next to him is someone who enjoys partying, no matter when it is. I'm going with your chosen Marvel character here. Just go with it.
Sorry.
It's Natalie.
Hi.
Next to Natalie is the ruler of the Dark Dimension, who is involved in several different lawsuits by people he's offended on previous podcasts.
Only Josh Whedon.
Only Josh Whedon.
Well, he deserves to be offended because he's an unpleasant person.
It's Isaac.
Hello.
Hello.
He's a bad man.
Oh, I didn't know any of this.
Next to Isaac is a man who, if he experiences a moment of joy, will become a giant green destructive monster.
That could happen.
It's Aaron.
Hello.
That's why you're here.
Yes. There'll be no joy.
Now we go over to our production team. So, in the pink hair is our God of Hammers, and apparently she is studying Groot language as an elective.
It is an elective, yes.
It's an elective. It's Kat.
Hello.
Hey.
And next to Kat, we have our master of the technical arts, the man that's making all of this happen. It's Chris.
Hello.
And I'm Craig. I chose Captain America because I'm the boss.
Who was I?
You were the Grand Master.
Of course.
What's hello in
That is
Greek?
what I chose.
I am Groot.
Oh, I get it. Okay, I'm starting to learn.
Yes, yes.
Oh, I'm Greek. Did you say you're Greek?
So before we really begin, eagle-eyed fans of the podcast will notice that we've actually done more than 100 episodes. But
Oh my god, what?
in order to give us more time to get this together, I decided to remove interviews from the count and any episodes that were recorded as part of the same conversation.
Technicality.
Technicality. I embrace technicality. So anything...
What number is this then?
I don't know because we've still got 3 to do. I think it's 127 maybe?
Holy shit. That is nothing like 100.
No, it's our 100th discussion. So there we go. Yeah, I picked my milestones. And what does it matter? We're all here. So yeah, that deals with that piece of technicality. But now
That this whole time.
we get to move on to our first segment. So perhaps we could have some music to introduce the segment.
I didn't know what happened to the segment.
What kind of music?
Right, someone's saying.
Who knows?
Yes.
That was it.
Okay, that was amazing.
Yes.
So the first segment is called All About Us, where we're going to answer a few pre-approved talking points. And if you have any questions, we'll get to them as we go. So if someone could grab the choosing hat, or the choice hat, and select a question, because I'm going to be talking enough for the next however long, so people can read different questions. Andrew's going first.
Wait, what are we doing? Just picking a thing?
We're going to talk about these talking points.
So let's read this question and answer it.
Yes, you can answer it first, and then we'll go around the room. And
Okay, so what ideas do you have for future podcasts? Any specific topics or other ideas? So, this is one of the questions that probably would have been an idea to think of in advance.
it was all shared ahead of time. You've only got yourself to blame.
Yes. And I was given the option. In my infinite wisdom, I decided, I'll just wing it because it'll be more spontaneous and more entertaining that way.
Oops.
Yes, pretty much.
I don't know, like I'm entertained, so
Well, and as long as I can keep people entertained, then my purpose in life is fulfilled. So I currently have no ideas for future podcasts. Because I generally just wait for Craig to tell me what it is he's decided he's going to do, yes, and then just kind of go along with it.
So what we need is more authoritarianism, please.
Okay.
Also, it's not our job because we if you do reviews or stuff, then it's not it's up to you what films come out.
I'm always open to ideas.
I think we should have one on just Patrick Swayze. And
That's a solid idea, actually.
I've
dedicate a whole feed to that.
we've discussed Patrick Swayze to a great extent. Myself and Craig. Craig and I. We have. I don't know why you hate him.
I don't hate him. I just don't think that he's a film.
Oh my god. He's my favourite film! No, Patrick Swayze is my favourite film.
Yeah.
Oh.
And Craig keeps on editing it out of my bag.
I do, because he is not a film. He is a person.
When I say my top 3 films are XY, Patrick Swayze, I don't know why I'm not allowed to have them.
Is it still on your Wikipedia page? Or did he edit that as well?
You got a Wikipedia page?
No.
Yeah, we all do. Someone's going to verify that.
I will make... maybe someone else will make one for me. I can pretend that that's worth it. Anyway.
Cool.
Patrick Swayze?
Patrick Swayze. If you want to see Patrick Swayze, then make yourself known. And we can maybe make
I don't
that
even
happen.
care. They might say no, definitely won't do it. And I'm still going to want to do it.
Okay. My kind of ideas for future stuff is I would quite like to do a musical episode. Or a musical part of an episode.
Do you mean
where we
sing?
sing?
Do you
Yeah,
mean
we'll just sing something at some point.
Buffy style.
so we sing a review?
We could, or we could just, sing along to a song that was in a film or something. We'd have to be really drunk in order for this
I
to
was going
happen.
to say that legit sounds terrible. But would I do it? Yes.
Cool, okay. We're on board. Perhaps at Christmas. We'll get tanked up, we'll sing. And no one will listen because I certainly can't sing.
I just don't know if any other podcasts have thought of that. So I feel like you're in some sort of new territory.
Yeah, unless some other podcasters are watching. And
Yeah, the best thing is not to announce it live on Facebook.
That's the best thing.
Yeah, because we've already said there's going to be a time delay in this one, haven't we?
I don't know.
So you got 10 seconds to kill every other
Yeah.
podcast.
Or trademark these ideas.
So before we move on, does anyone have any other ideas they'd like to do for future episodes?
I'm pretty much locked in for alien films for however many more years we've got. Every April 26th. So that's what I'll be doing.
Cool. Anyone else? Or shall we move on?
I kind of got the one that I wanted. I wanted to do one on The Expanse, and that happened in real time only about a week ago. But yeah.
Published 2 days ago.
Published 2 days ago, or when you hear this podcast, whenever it happened.
A little while ago.
News in the
Oh, I've
past.
never heard of it.
Cool. Well, we've got some ideas, so we shall move on.
Yeah, Patrick.
Who wants to choose the next question?
Isaac does.
That's what you give me the hat. So the next question is...
That's a really long question.
What motivates you to keep appearing on the podcast, other than Craig keeps asking?
To be fair, that's kind of the main one.
Yeah, but you could say no. What makes you not say no?
I mean, I live here, so I'm in.
So I'm in forever.
And when he's not on a podcast, he can be heard making dinner
He can be heard
in the
making dinner.
background of other podcasts.
Good, because that's what I do.
It's like really loud cups of tea being made and
Yeah.
sort of demolishing a Lego set next door, and you can hear the whole thing. So it's, yeah. What makes me keep coming back is getting to discuss films. It's like being part of a little film club. It's just that we record it instead of meeting in the same room, which is what makes it quite nice doing this all in the same place tonight.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same, just because I like talking about nerdy things, and I like having other nerdy people to talk about nerdy things with, because they actually care about what I'm saying, and don't just stare at me with increasingly vacant faces, hoping that I will eventually just go away and leave them alone.
Also known as the expression I make whenever anybody talks about football.
Precisely.
Yeah. The interesting thing is, Andrew was a fan of the podcast who wanted to come on, and I was more than happy to let him on. It also means we've lost a listener, which didn't help.
It does precious
Yeah,
listening.
Bob helps. I do still listen to ones that I'm not a part of.
I sometimes listen to those that I am a part of.
After-
Play them at full volume around the house.
After I've edited them, I'm like, nah, I'm not listening to this again.
I've never listened to any of them.
I have to because I'm like, what did I say?
Yeah.
And then I'll like be listening to it, and then I'll be like,
Oh, yeah.
why didn't I say that? And then I hear myself say it, and I'm like, you're on the same page.
Go past me.
So, Kat, what keeps you coming back?
Well, at first, whenever you first asked me to be on the podcast, I was like, alright, I guess. I've never really properly recorded remotely before. I'd only ever, like, recorded in person, kind of like this. So it was like, alright, like, if we can get this to work, like, that'd be fun. And, like, I really get along with you guys. And it's just like... Hey, my Scottish friends! Like, I get to like talk about nerdy stuff, and like especially about like sort of when we did the Pacific Rim podcasts or like the Expanse podcast recently. It was like, you know, I don't necessarily get to talk about these things much, and it's just great. It's just great. You guys are great.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah, go team.
Go team!
Angus, what keeps you coming back?
I listen to tons of podcasts, and a lot of them are by people who are in TV shows or films or are only famous for podcasting, but I think it's really cool to be able to be involved in something like that as well, and you can just throw it out there and have 8 people watching you on Facebook Live.
Yeah!
And also the aforementioned contract that ties me into the guest hosting duties for those alien podcasts. That keeps me coming back as well.
Can you be famous through podcasts?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely
That's
can.
how Ricky Gervais.
I don't know if
What?
we can,
Well,
but
yes,
people
we
definitely can.
Wow.
Yeah. What keeps you coming back? No,
I don't know.
you don't know. Me
Because
neither.
No, because every time when you guys are talking about being nerds and geeks and stuff, and I'm like the most half-assed nerd geek ever. I never know what's going on, and I feel like I represent the viewer of movies who isn't the geek. You know?
It's
Because
the
you talk about
casual,
all...
the casual cinema goer.
I'm the person who's like, well, I enjoyed it on this base level. Or I didn't like it for this.
Jeff Goldblum's in it. I'm watching it.
Absolutely. No, well, that's different because I like those films. But I don't know the whole, oh my god, did you see that person's hand was in this thing and that came from this other dimension where they had this other timeline, and I'm like, I literally don't give a shit.
Yeah, so you're the one who most people would class as normal.
No.
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
I'm kind of offended by that.
Yeah, no, I meant like in terms of other people who are not as nerdy as us.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, what's normal?
Shut it, Normie.
But I just mean, you know, like, you guys talk about your tropes and shit. And I'm like, I'm just going to see this film and, you know, I'll feed back to you.
Cool.
And I'm more base level. Also, my memory's really terrible, so like, I don't know. But I'm here.
Isaac, other than living here, what makes you come back?
Well, I've not been on many of these. I've never been on. Do you remember? 4? I
I
think.
don't know, 4 or 5.
I did a
something
Christmas
like
one, and then a Ready Player One, and then like 2 Avengers ones, I think.
And special guest appearances on others as well.
Oh yeah, when I was like smashing.
Yeah. Smashing crockery in the back room.
Did
Smashing
you
crockery.
actually smash
If
crockery?
you've ever interviewed
No, I
someone,
just-
we know it doesn't count towards the total.
Well, because you invite me to the films. Like, do you want to go see Avengers? Like, yeah, do you want to chat about Avengers? Like, yeah, might as well.
That's fair enough. Aaron, why do you keep coming back?
I feel like this is an interview.
It kind of is.
It's just like things that Craig wants to know about us, and he's just put in a question because he's like, I just want to know, why are people coming back?
Stealth interrogation.
Why are you on my podcast? He wants to know, so that's why he's asking us this.
Tell me you're my friend.
You notice how that's been no one's answer yet.
I feel like we've touched upon this. I think like Andrew and I, that's what we said, right?
It's the camaraderie. That's why we keep coming back. The ship may be sinking, but we all dig in. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Applying that logic to it afterwards, yeah. It's good.
So Aaron, do you have...
That was me. I think I'm just an opinionated git, actually. I just have opinions and I need to get them out. And people just suffer them. I think that's it.
You are his chosen victim.
Fair enough. Okay, good answers. What keeps me coming back? I run the thing, so I have to come back. Otherwise, nothing will happen.
The most inspiring answer.
What encourages you to keep the lights on, though?
Yeah, well, I keep going because I love doing this. I love chatting about these things, coming up with, the agendas, the hastily well thought out agendas, and yeah, it's just good fun. Just having a chat about stuff, recording that chat, then editing that chat, then applying music to that chat, finding creative ways to bleep out swearing. Quite enjoyable. So
yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, so many Wolverine claws, and it's good when you're doing a Star Trek podcast or a Star Wars one. Loads of sound effects. It gets to be a challenge on some other ones, but yeah, I like doing it. I like the things we talk about. So happy to keep doing it. That's just it.
So you could do more of a...
Yes. Well, although remember early on we were pretty much the Star Trek podcast because that was all we talked about for like 2 months. So yeah, we've moved away from that and we're now the Marvel podcast. Sort of. Okay, next question from the hat. Who wants to pick the question?
Yep. Oh, you made a noise.
No, carry on.
Oh, you made it.
Is that yours?
Yeah, the one that's here.
No.
So.
Go to that.
Oh no, the question's gone back into that.
They've got to re-answer everything again.
And we're going to answer everything again.
What are your personal highlights or favourite podcast memory?
Silence.
So, I think I'm starting to lean into this joke about I hate fun. I think that's become
it's not a joke.
I don't know what else to say on that. Surely it's not real.
What?
It's not real that I hate fun.
I don't know.
But
Who says you don't like fun?
He does.
Why?
because I don't like the same things that he likes, and he can't handle that.
Wait, you do like the same things that he likes?
No, he likes crappy stuff.
Whoa.
Yeah, because you always tell me every day how much you don't like J.J. Abrams, and I think J.J. Abrams is great.
See? It's all...
It was on the time travel podcast where you publicly admitted that you don't like fun.
That never happened yet.
Well, when it appears, when it drops out of the timeline.
When we record the time travel podcast, which is already available in your feed, then we'll find out if Aaron likes fun or not.
Also, this podcast is itself out of time because we haven't recorded the remaining 3 to get to the 100th discussion. So
no one cares.
Yeah, technically we recorded this before we started doing the podcast, so we're just kind of guessing what we'll have covered over the last sort of couple of years.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's going on.
That's pretty much
I think it's the idea.
in the room, yeah. So, what are your favourite memories then? If you have any.
Can somebody else? I've done my bit. Next person. Come on.
One of my favourite podcasts that I did was actually the first one that I was on, where there was a rather cathartic rant about season 4 of The Flash and its myriad inadequacies, and it was quite a satisfying experience to just to vent with people about it who were on the same kind of wavelength, even if I did like Ralph and they didn't. And aside from that, one particular one which my brain has retrospectively decided was an entertaining moment or experience was during filming the Jurassic Park podcast when I was completely stoned on prescription painkillers. And I genuinely have very little recollection of what I actually said. And one of the few things I do remember was my dog getting very excited outside the computer room and jumping up and down on laminate flooring. But because of the aforementioned stonedness, I couldn't remember which key actually muted the microphone. So I probably gave Craig a very large headache in the sound editing.
It wasn't that bad, I don't think. I think I just cut out that whole section.
Edit.
Yeah. Edit, yeah.
Actually, if I take back, actually, that's some of my favourite stuff. When people throw in stuff like that, I love his edit. In fact, the two of you as a team, I think, one of the best parts.
Yeah, working out that catchphrase has a long way.
I think they riff, and I don't think you're aware that he's riffing, but they riff. It's really good. You are right.
All the time. Every time. All the time.
I guess like some of my favourite memories are the kind of the targeted ones. I think the Spectacular Spider-Man podcast was a particular highlight because I don't know, I've never shut up about that show since it was on and then got cancelled. So it was great to just power through the entire 2 seasons of it in, I don't know, like 90 to 120 minutes, and it was good. That was a really good one. The special shout out for the time that Chris fixed our audio issues remotely from Canada.
Yeah,
that was.
Yeah, I sat in a Starbucks in Canada and managed to reconnect the server and get everyone on a podcast I wasn't supposed to be any part of. So I kind of dropped in from an internet cafe by the side of the Canadian version of the M1.
I want you to know that I felt famous.
I pay the big bucks for high efficiency IT support.
Yes, yeah, only the best for Neil Before Pod.
That was a truly special moment.
Cool.
How come no one's talking about podcasts that I've been on?
Well, see, I quite like my favourite was the Christmas movies one.
That was great.
I really enjoyed because it was just sort of people reliving their childhood and reminding me of all these sort of great Christmas movies that they've been. And sort of riffing around them, and that I thought was a really fun podcast to record.
And it did have Aaron's excellent Eurovision voting section.
Yes.
Amazing.
That was brilliant.
That cracks me up.
So when can we rewind that? And Chris was like, yes, let's rewind the definitely live Aaron. It's all in there. Listen to it. But probably not around now because it's not near Christmas.
I just want everyone to know that I remember getting really confused because of the point system.
Yeah, I voted my film last. I thought you voted yours top. So you put 1 for the top
I
film.
didn't do that, but I misunderstood the results.
Yeah, you thought that Die Hard didn't win and Die Hard won. Yeah, that was funny.
For
Question as well.
Let's do a
That's
question.
loud.
What upcoming movies / TV shows are you looking forward to reviewing or have the highest expectations for?
Oh, that's a bloody good
A
question.
good question.
That's a very good question. Okay. Highest expectation. If Batwoman gets picked up to series, I'll be looking forward to reviewing that. Because I will. Because I review every other show in that universe, so I have to do it. Because I think it sounds like an interesting idea. It expands a universe I quite like, even though if I don't like one of the shows in it. At the moment, anyway. It could get better. It has to get better. But
It will.
Why
Yeah.
do you guys stay with these really shows, hoping that it's going to get better?
because
'Cause, like,
if I
legit,
watch
this is
if I
what-
watch 4 other shows that are set in the same universe, then I'll feel like I'm losing something if I don't watch.
But you're
the
not
fifth one.
when it's terrible because you're losing your time.
Yeah,
I'm with
but
her.
Like,
I can't explain why.
You,
It just-
why can't
Yeah.
you get?
Reeling
Why
you
can't you get to a point where you're like, it's not worth it?
Masochistic compulsion?
Well, it sounds like it, but I don't understand because it's like when you're talking about other TV shows and you're like, oh, we're on season 27, it's going to get to that point, and you're just holding on to it, and you know it's terrible, and it takes up all your time.
well,
You can do something else.
I could, but I
It's
would
like-
feel like I was losing something.
Don't feel. Why do you feel like that?
I don't know.
We need to discuss this.
We need to discuss this.
But this isn't a 100th podcast. This is an intervention, Craig.
having a real
Surprise!
I always wondered why everyone was here. So Batwoman, that's one that I'm looking forward to reviewing. I don't know. I'm not like making room for new shows at the moment because all the existing shows that I thought were, might be dead by now are still going on, and it's like I don't want them cancelled, but
also it's time.
also there's a lot of work. So yeah, Batwoman's the only one I can think of. Movies that I might be looking forward to reviewing. I don't know. If I ever get to see Upgrade, I'm looking forward to that. I think that looks fun. I think I'll have some fun reviewing Venom when it comes out because I think it looks so bad that it might be entertainingly bad. And those are always the fun reviews to write. The ones where I can just take them apart. The ones that are like, nah, that was alright. It's difficult because there's very little to say
When are
about
they
it.
going to do like other villains from Spider-Man?
Well, they're all getting their own film.
Like Mysterio.
Oh, he's in the next one.
I might watch it. He was like my favourite level in the game. Used to love it.
Isaac, do you have any favourite podcast memories?
Uh,
Out of the ones you've been on, I guess, because you haven't listened to any other ones.
no, I'm not listening to any of the other ones.
Yeah.
All the ones I've been on. I know I really hated the first Avengers one that I did, to the point where I vowed to you that I would never podcast again. So that's the, It was 3 and a bit hours.
It was
and I was so
disgusting.
tired. I
That was
fell
a long
asleep in
one.
a bit.
That was a long one.
Why?
So I was like, I'm not doing this again. That was awful. And now I'm back. Because I wanted to yell about Play Ready Player One.
That was the one where we bullied Chris because he liked it and we didn't.
Yeah, I enjoyed it and came that I felt at the other end that I'd maybe defended it too hard. And, yeah.
I felt really bad after that one. I was like, we were a bit harsh, but it was okay.
It's all right. I forwarded it to Spielberg. He's sending a letter.
Yeah. To which address though? Yeah, Ready Player One was an interesting
That
one.
was a fun one.
A memorable one for me would be the Power Rangers podcast that Craig, Natalie, and I did. I almost ended up kind of being a moderator on that one because Natalie hated it so much and Craig loved it so much. I felt I just had to take a kind of neutral position. Your Zordon at the very beginning of it was amazing, and then trying to keep Natalie awake towards the end of it, she was dropping off. Yeah, that was an interesting
Because we went over this
podcast.
because we talked about how your questions were far more considered than any script that was ever directed towards that TV show.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's not revisit that now.
Well, that had the great point where you just read the episode titles of the Japanese Sentai it was based on.
Yeah.
That was epic.
That was good.
Yeah. I liked your
that was
Christmas
more
rap. Back to the
interesting.
Christmas one.
Yeah,
That was a good
rapping
one.
Christmas in Hollis was pretty good.
With
fun.
my really like
Out
my
of the
really
box beat.
yeah that
People were beating what?
that beat I added that was legally allowed to use that had nothing to do with it. That was a good one.
Another funny one was when we were talking about Doctor Strange, and for some reason Natalie was talking about Doctor Strange riding a giraffe, and it had me rolling on the floor.
It was on the floor.
No idea what you're on about, but it was amazing.
Because you said, who would you like to see him team up with?
A giraffe.
And I was like, out of anything?
Out of it. I'm not going to start.
But then everyone was like, no characters. I was like, oh, it went over my head, so sorry about it. That was enjoyable. I always enjoy the ones where I feel like I've come away with at least 5 slogans for t-shirts.
The Logan
my
one,
favourite.
that was really, I think we really digged into Logan.
Oh, it was emotional.
Yeah, or dug into Logan, I guess. We really got into that one. That was a really good one.
And I cried internally.
One of our highest rated or highest listened to episodes on the old feed, which
Yeah.
I've now lost the stats for because I don't have it anymore.
27 independent listeners.
It was over 100 within a week.
That's 100,000 guys.
Yeah.
We don't. It's so many.
Well, when you're dealing
that
with
we don't need to
when you're
mention
dealing
all
with
of the
complaints,
zeros.
like 2 people is like 1 million people. So I'm applying the same logic.
Yeah,
That's what-
we're so famous. We don't include all this.
Yeah. Chris, do you have any favourite memories? You've been on a lot.
Like I say, the Christmas one was one of my favourites to be a part of. I really enjoyed that. And what other ones? I'm trying to think. Normally Angus and Natalie are quite fun because the two of you bouncing off each other. And I do like, as much as I hated being on the receiving end for Ready Player One, I kind of do like the episodes where we completely tear a TV show or a film to pieces. That there can be something quite therapeutic about that. I don't know if everyone else agrees.
That one's
The Flash.
Yeah,
that one's
definitely.
that one's also a rare one in the sense that we kind of disagreed. We don't normally have one person in one corner and one person in another corner.
We do,
So
all the time.
not
Power
very.
Rangers.
Yeah,
Well,
not
that's
everyone,
another example.
yeah.
But most of the time, it's we're all
Wonder
there
Woman,
because we kind of like something.
Spider-Man. Do I go on?
We didn't do a podcast on Spider. Or you weren't on it. We did a podcast on Spider-Man. You were on there.
Yeah, but he does come up every time we are.
He does come up a lot. He does.
I have to be honest. I think I have podcasts since I dressed up as Spider-Man, but I remember being out dressed as Spider-Man, and I was like, if Craig could see me now. I did try and go as what's it? Electro. Tried to go as him. Couldn't find enough paint.
Kat, favourite memories?
Favorite memory. Okay, so probably my favorite one would be the double bill of Pacific Rim that you and I did.
That was good.
Which was a really, really good time. Mostly because then I got to inflict it on my friends in my writers group who don't like Pacific Rim. Shout out, because I know one of you is watching right now.
Unless they're
on
one of the people
Facebook.
who dropped off.
perhaps, but no, I think he might still be around. But yeah, so like I have a lot of friends, like close friends, who don't like Pacific Rim, and so I tend to, sort of go on a diatribe of why at least the first one is pretty amazing. The second one's kind of alright, but yeah. Anyway, we did a 3-hour epic in total, I think, for both the films, so that was really fun. And I really actually enjoyed the short ones we did. So like the one on the Thor trailer, when Thor Ragnarok trailer first appeared.
All the Thor puns.
So good.
Don't get me going.
I can't remember any of them.
Oh, okay then.
Ode in a minute, and Angus is going to tell you them all.
He's doing it.
Have you forgot?
What?
Obviously,
the
but
puns.
haven't did enough.
I've got them all here. I'll have to locate them up.
There we go.
Angus has been waiting. It's the only prep he's done.
Yeah, and I kind of really liked the after midnight sort of recording that Chris very narrowly missed because it was like 4 or 5 a.m. by the time I got home from the cinema, and Craig held on, and Chris was like, right, I'm gonna go to bed.
I was
Yeah,
halfway
off
through
the
my
bed.
review at the point.
Yeah.
But it turned out to be quite a fun little chat, even though by the end of it I was quite delirious.
Yeah, I was delirious enough and just went, do you know what, I'm going to bed before I just collapse. That was it.
Fair.
Yeah, the after midnight ones are quite interesting. We've done 2 of them. We did one for The Last Jedi as well, which was 15 minutes off. We've just seen this, but we're not really going to talk about it
Yeah, I
because
can't tell you
we don't want to spoil
anything.
you, because it's just out. But
Quite liked it though, because immediate thoughts, like I said, I've got terrible memory. Immediate thoughts and feelings, I was like, whew,
yeah,
Purple.
if we got more midnight screenings,
nah.
possibly do more of those.
Nah.
Maybe.
No, those are a lot.
We,
They are a lot.
after working in a cinema and seeing the people who come to midnight screenings, I hate them.
Wow.
Harsh.
We're not that bad.
No, you're all terrible.
I take all my
You're
rubbish
all
out.
terrible people. Keeping me in the cinema until like 3:30 in the morning after like starting at ass o'clock. No, thank you. Don't appreciate it. And then you're all like, I gotta see that there's something at the end of the credits, and then I'll be like, there's nothing at the end of the credits, and then people still sit there, and like I've just told you, there's nothing else.
Well, in a Marvel film there is. Always.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Wasn't there one where there wasn't though? From
Possibly.
There's been a few other ones. Normally it's like it goes to IMAX and they've not put an end credits thing on IMAX yet.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
everyone's
really?
sitting in the IMAX screen waiting for it and it doesn't happen.
So if you go and see an IMAX and you miss out because
Yeah, you might miss out, or they've
Doesn't
not done it in
happen for a while,
3D or stuff. They
Yeah.
did do that originally, but I think they're a bit smarter to it now.
Yeah.
and do
I mean, well, I haven't
streaming
worked in a
channels.
cinema for a long time, but
So therefore, let the
back
resentment
in
go.
the day.
See, now you can go along to midnight screenings and you can be that
Yeah,
person still
no.
sitting at the back of the room.
I still feel bad about it. I'm
And
like,
then
oh
turn
god.
your popcorn upside down.
Yeah, you just
I'm like, I'm
you
so
just look
sorry.
the usher dead in the eye and go, okay, bye.
Having also worked at a cinema, that hurts my heart. No.
We used to finish our nights sometimes before we had to sweep, because it used to be that you could just pick up the crap and go without sweeping it because the cleaners would come and get it. And if you'd had a really terrible day
Yeah.
and people had like their full buckets of popcorn, you'd go to the top of the stairs and you'd just boot it. And you would just watch
So you
it.
just shower down
That
across
sounds
the
like it's worth
auditorium.
being in for at 3 a.m. just to do that.
I'm so sorry. But they have hoovers, we had a brush. Like,
Yeah.
we can't compete.
Fair. Fair's fair. Okay, next question. Who wants to pull the next question out the hat?
I'll do it.
Do we have any more questions from the
We do
quorum,
actually.
the audience?
Would you like one of those?
Yeah,
first?
let's do that. Let's do it.
All right. So Catherine asks, if you had to choose one of your top 10 favorite films that you could never watch again, or else, which one would you give up?
Oh my god.
That hurts. Thanks, Catherine.
Do you know your top 10 off by heart?
No, I don't have a top 10. It changes all the time.
I was going to say, because you need to know that.
Yeah, maybe like a top 300.
All right, let's see. I've got my
okay.
Letterboxd open right
a
now.
film I like that I would happily never watch again, I guess. I don't know. There's some things that kind of get worse the more you watch them. You know, even though you still like them, it's just things stand out. So I don't know. I would probably go with the very first Sam Raimi Spider-Man film, because every time I rewatch it, I notice another mistake, or another collection of mistakes, and then I can't unsee them after that. So if I never had to watch that again, it could live on as that's just a film with like a million mistakes I've noticed. So less, I would, it'd be okay.
Top 10.
No, but it's a film. I don't know what my top 10 is.
cop-out
Well, it would
answer.
have to be your top 10. You can't just choose a film that you
Well-
already know that you don't want to keep on watching.
Yeah, what's a film you don't really like that you could do without not
I
seeing
love the
it?
Sam Raimi Spider-Man film. I remember that film when I saw it the first time.
Which one was this one?
The first Tobey Maguire one.
Oh yeah, it's
That
'cause-
film essentially changed my life when I first
Is
saw
it because it's got Macy Gray in it?
Yeah, that's why.
Big
No, it was
Macy Gray
because
fan.
I was a huge Spider-Man fan, and it was great seeing something with Spider-Man in it that was good in the cinema, and I was really excited when it first came out. I think it's the first film I ever saw more than once at the cinema.
Started something.
It started something, and now,
And now you're going to cut it out of your life altogether.
well, if
You have to.
if I had to,
No, you
this
do.
This is someone
That's part of
holding,
the question.
someone holding a phaser to my head, kind of.
It also doesn't count because it's not in his top 10.
Well, I
No,
don't
that's
have a
true.
top 10. I don't know what my top 10 is. It's not a fair
What's your
question.
favourite film of all time?
I don't know. I don't have one.
G-Force?
That's weird.
G-Force. Depends on my mood,
G-Force.
It's up there on the shelf.
Classic of our time. It's
Right-
true.
It's right behind him.
One
Right
film,
behind him.
one film I love to rewatch is The Thing. That's up there. It's definitely up there. John Carpenter's The Thing is a classic, and I love it every time I watch it.
Yeah, okay, well, one film I absolutely love, but I might be able to cut out would be like the first Deadpool movie. Because I thought like, it was brilliant fun and done brilliantly. But after watching the sequel, like the treatment of Vanessa in that. In that film, pretty much invalidates the entire emotional journey of the first movie because it's effectively rendered meaningless.
Yeah.
And so then any sort of subsequent rewatch of the first movie has now become tainted with that future knowledge.
Plus, comedies get less funny the more you watch them. Sometimes.
It depends. I think a
Yeah.
good comedy doesn't, but
I love Dodgeball, but it's less funny than it was years ago.
True, actually, yes.
Yeah.
all right. Shall I move on? Shall I move us on?
Yes.
Okay. So, the next question out of Craig's hat, he has a fedora, which I will hold against him.
I love that hat. That hat is.
My hat.
It's my hat.
My podcast. Okay.
You're on a night out in that hat once.
Not just a night out.
Oh.
The night out.
Every night out.
All right, so this next question will definitely tell you lots about these contributors that you perhaps don't know.
Uh-oh.
And it is, what do you do outside of the podcast?
Ooh.
Because obviously we're just here all the time.
Well, I mean, I edit and record podcasts.
Oh yeah, he just
Nothing.
lives on the blog. You just live on the blog. That's it.
I write reviews and edit podcasts and go to the cinema, I suppose. That's all I do.
I'll go. So I am a writer. Like I'm working on a novel, and I'm trying to write some short stories and stuff. So that's mostly what I do. I also work for money at like a day job, which is fun and arts related. But I wouldn't consider it like, part of my identity as a nerd, so to speak. So yeah, so when I'm not podcasting with these fine folk, I'm mostly trying to write and failing to concentrate. So, there's that. Yay.
Where do you work?
Maybe not able
we're
to say
gonna
it.
cut that out.
Yeah.
Like let's not broadcast
Oh,
that.
okay.
We'll discuss that offline.
Yes.
Yeah. Angus, what do you do outside of the podcast?
Well, if it wasn't difficult enough explaining to people what podcasts are, who have no idea, I also play a very niche sport, a form of American football that is non-contact. So, yeah, that's what I do every Sunday, basically, down in the meadows.
What's it called?
Flag football. I'm even sporting
Ooh.
some team gear right now.
Team gear.
Yeah, so that's another thing that I can explain to people when when they ask me what do I enjoy doing when I'm in my downtime. But yes, it takes a lot of explaining, a bit like podcasting does sometimes to some people.
Good answer. What do you do, Nat?
So
Lean into the mic.
I have a day job. It's taken over my life. But when I'm not there, I have a studio, so I work in my studio when I can. As an artist, and I do lots of different things. I've got a couple of different
visual
websites.
art, like paintings?
No, it's at the moment experiential.
Okay.
So I've been doing things like that, and I'm also practicing a thing called kintsugi, which is like the Japanese art of repairing broken things with gold. And I also have a website for Marquette Crosses, which we've not really worked on, but we should do because I pay for it. And what else? We're going to have a podcast.
Ooh.
Which we have a
We've teased
logo
it
for.
many times.
For about
What's
a
it going to be
year.
about?
Teen Wolf Minute.
It's going to be a movies by minute podcast, a bit like Star Wars Minute, inspired by that.
Yeah. So we've got that in pipelines. And what else? Oh, I like taking photos of pylons. So that's what I do.
Varied. Rich and varied. Non-podcast life.
Rich.
Isaac.
But yeah, I'm learning to make my own comics, which is always fun. So like writing and drawing comics and stuff. So that's like my main sort of when I'm not working thingy. Also Lego, as indicated by the... I'll hold that to the mic so everyone can hear it.
An audio tattoo.
And yeah, what else do I do? Just wander around, really. Nice time. Edinburgh's lovely. So, yeah, so it's a bit of a laugh.
Just cut out.
Yeah, part of a bath.
Aaron, what do you do?
My main thing is I'm currently designing a strategy board game.
Look at all the board game
we
nerds
like-
going, ooh.
I love
Yes.
board games.
Oh, can we do a live
What kind of
like we
board
do a
game?
live debut when it's ready? And we
Can
got like
we?
set it like
Oh,
this.
let's
Can we all
play.
play it? Can we all play it? Can we all play it?
We can. It's
What's it about?
Don't feel pressured into this, but it's happening now.
Richard, we're doing it.
It's the theme is Renaissance dancing. So you've got your piece on the board is effectively your dancer, and you have to dance between couples on the board to collect things to take to the queen, which gets you points.
That sounds well fun.
Queen.
But you are something of a dancer yourself, aren't you?
Well, they say write what you know, as it were. So I guess it came from that.
And also you can ice skate. You're a really good ice skater.
I don't think I've ice skated once in my life.
This is a very
Oh,
deep cut callback.
Is this the I saw you and it was definitely you?
No, I heard you. I heard you commenting.
On the Winter Olympics, ice skating.
Oh, I see him.
And I was like, who is this guy?
Robin Cousins is who you're
And I was
referring
like,
to.
it's this guy. It's Aaron.
So there we go. Aaron is
I
apparently
pretend
also
to be
Cousins.
Robin.
Ex-European champion
Or does Robin
ice
Cousins
skater.
pretend to be Aaron?
Maybe he does.
Or you're busy
Well-
pretending not to be Robin Cousins by coming on the podcast.
Yeah.
All I'm going to say is I've never seen you both together. And
Jeez, neither have I.
so, just saying.
Suspicious.
Definitely.
Chris, lastly, what do you do?
When I am not on the podcast, I've got a day job as well. Hooray! And then I volunteer at a community radio station just outside of Edinburgh called Black Diamond FM, and I present a programme at the weekends, in amongst doing sort of technical wizardry in the background of there as well.
And Andrew, we didn't get you. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, do I not get to be
Oh no, I know. Sorry, you're
Sorry,
out of my
Andrew.
peripheral vision when I was asking Chris. That was what the problem was.
Right. So in my free time, I engage in fulfilling my ambition to watch literally every film ever made. Which
How's that going for you?
the current estimates, like somewhere between maybe 5,000 and 6,000 or so.
Like a year?
No, like in total. Every year, it's usually like 300 or 400.
It's a lot of fun.
That's good going.
That's a lot of films.
I love them. Yeah, and I also write reviews for a nerdy magazine called Starburst. Reviewing films and TV and games and books and comics and audio dramas, which is quite good fun. Yeah, and like Kat, I am also a writer. And that's like main like creative projects are a series of urban fantasy novels set in modern day Edinburgh, and also a cyberpunk erotica novel.
Oh my god! I was actually so.
Yes.
I was because I was going to
revelation
say because I also dabble in erotica,
Oh, cool!
and I was like, does that class me as a writer? Do I mention it now that there's other writers?
Yes. Well, like if you're putting creative words down that come out your brain, then yes, you're a writer.
well,
Feel James is a writer.
So
We were about to have a Spartacus moment there where everyone admitted to being. I also dabble in erotica.
I was going to say dabble in erotica is my stage name, but
That's on a Sunday night.
Should have been your laser
It's
quest
Sunday
name.
afternoon.
oh my god, that's wonderful.
Wow.
I'd love to read.
I've learned so much today.
I'd love to read some.
Right, I will. I will.
Are you online with it? Can people like read it?
No, I've not actually got it into any kind of readable state yet.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Soon.
yeah. The thing, and also at the moment, like there's like there's like too much sci-fi and not enough smut yet. For it to,
Just
Gotta get that.
for it to be
Gotta get that balance
Click
right.
pre-order.
exactly. Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Shall we take a question
Let's
from
take
the
an
audience?
audience question.
Yes. So we have a double-pronged question. Let's take Stuart's question, which is, have you got a collection of outtakes which never made it into the podcasts?
Yes and no. I have every single thing we've ever recorded somewhere. So all the raw data, so everything that got deleted still exists. Would I put together an outtakes episode at some point? It would be a lot of work.
do it.
I would have to listen to a lot of raw data, and I'm not sure I want to pour over that.
I
again.
don't think you need to do an outtakes one. I think you just need to stop editing me so harshly.
Well, that makes my life a bit simpler, but yeah, no.
Because if you didn't edit so brutally, the 20-minute period of us setting up before we podcast and the 15-minute closing chat that we have after podcasts, they're like the best chat, and I always feel like really bad because people don't get to listen to it.
Maybe he can do, like, you know how X-Men Apocalypse had the Rogue edit?
Yeah.
Maybe you can have Neil Before Pod, the Natalie edit. Where you
Where there
just
is no
re-edit
editing.
Natalie's bits in.
I don't know, that sounds like a lot of work. I mean,
Just don't edit it at all. Yeah.
And then we also have a question from Michael, which is, which of the upcoming blockbusters do you think might turn out to be the biggest flop?
what are the upcoming blockbusters?
Venom.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's a blockbuster.
possible.
Yeah,
Yes.
Venom. I'm going to go with Venom too.
I've legit not even heard of that.
I'm gonna go with Godzilla King of the Monsters.
I don't know, the trailer looks really good.
Yeah, so
I'm kind of
that's
into
the
it.
same. The last.
Well, it's the
Kind of really into it.
Yeah,
King
the
Ghidorah.
trailer for the first Godzilla looked really good, but then it sort of just it wasn't very good.
And then you find out that all of Bryan Cranston is in the trailer.
And all of Godzilla's in the trailer as well.
Wait, did Cranston play Godzilla?
Did you ever see them in the same room at the same time?
No.
No, you don't actually, because
Just saying.
Godzilla could be a shout. I don't know. Venom. It keeps coming back to Venom. I think I'm going to hate this film, but I think I'm going to
Can we
enjoy
go
hating
back?
it.
Can we go back to Godzilla? Because do you know how one of my bugbears is that people just don't make original movies anymore? Why is there another Godzilla?
Because
Aye.
people like Godzilla.
No, but like you can like it, but you don't have to keep on rehashing it.
But because people like films about giant monsters battering each other.
Did you guys see The Meg?
Yeah.
Yes.
I saw it in 4DX. That was
Oh
fantastic.
God. 4DX.
That film was made.
I've never
for
seen
4DX.
anything in 4DX.
It was an
Do it.
experience.
It is. It was wonderful.
Did they spray you? Like, was there like water with the? Oh,
Anytime anyone dived into the water, it was.
Was it salty?
that's too much.
I loved it.
That is too much.
Yeah, because it had that kind of.
I wasn't for going to see it in 3D or anything, and the time that we went, it just happened to be 4DX, and I was like, fuck. I don't want to pay extra to go and see 4DX. We've got our Cineworld passes, la la la. We paid extra, and I'm so glad that we did, because if we'd seen it in any other form than 4DX, it just wouldn't have compared. It was
I'm kind of hoping that the new Fantastic Beasts movie will flop because Johnny Depp needs to be cancelled. And so I'm just hoping that helps a little bit.
It also looks rubbish.
Is he still doing stuff?
Well, he's in Fantastic Beasts. The Crimes of Grindelwald, because for
Despite-
some reason, like they replaced Colin Farrell. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen the first Fantastic Beasts, but yes. I'm really disappointed, to be honest, that they keep giving him work. And that it keeps being a thing, and especially the, like, sort of whole debacle, like, where, like, even J.K. Rowling sort of jumped to his defense, you know, like, well, we hired him because he's talented, but, you know, he's a rubbish person. And also kind of, like, he's kind of lost his edge as an actor.
What
It's
do you not like about him?
Huh?
What do you not like about him?
The fact that he hasn't really done any serious acting since, I want to say, the second Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
Finding Neverland, surely.
That was before the second Pirates
Was
of
it?
the Caribbean movie.
I don't like the Pirates of the
I
Caribbean.
thought this was
like-
going to be about him being his girlfriend, and it's not.
It's controversial. But yeah.
That's why I thought you were like, I'm against him.
No, I'm against him,
Because
like,
he'd
because it's just,
be his
you know, it's
girlfriend.
like, do you want, I mean, A, that, and she was his wife, and B, like, he hasn't just been good in, like, over a decade, and it's like, alright, man, like, either you step up your game and you start being good at your job again, or you need to be fired. And that's just kind of, yeah. Anyway, mini Johnny Depp rant.
There we go.
So I heard
There we
that aren't Dumbledore and Grindelwald not going to meet in this film, which is
Yeah, no, they are.
oh they are going to meet.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
I think
'Cause
so,
that's
I'm
kind
not
of
sure.
because I know they're not going to lean in on the like romance thing, even though that's the whole point.
Unfortunately, we'll have to watch it and find out.
I've not seen Fantastical Beasts.
I wouldn't recommend it.
It's not bad, actually. I really liked it. Except for the last, like, sort of 5 minutes where we get, like, a face reveal and it's all just kind of like, oh, wow, man.
What is, like, I don't... It's like Harry Potter right?
Yes,
So
but
much
no,
swearing.
it's 1920s, so Dumbledore is Jude Law. And,
Nice.
yeah, like, Harry
He's not
isn't
in the first
even,
one.
like,
Yes.
alive yet. His parents are not alive yet. Like, it's set in the 1920s in New
Oh.
York.
Alright, wow.
So,
Different.
American wizards.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, it's quite fun. I quite liked it, but in any case, we have a audience question again.
Okay.
Do you want
And
to
then
do that and then move on?
We'll
to
go back to the hat. Yeah.
So Michael's friend Jan asks, your favorite film longer than 3 hours?
The Fellowship of the Ring.
It would have
That's
to
longer than
be
3
Lord
hours.
of the
No,
Rings
it's
at any time.
Okay, Fellowship of the
Director's
Ring
cut?
extended edition.
Director's
That's
cut.
not longer than.
Is it not?
Yeah.
I thought
yeah.
it was.
Yeah, it is. This is what I tell all the team at work. I'm like, if they are like, oh god, I'm going to be here for 4 hours, I'm like, that's practically a Lord of the Rings movie. Director's edition.
I've no idea how long any
Think
film
about
is.
it.
Oh, you're right.
Longer.
3 hours 48.
There we go.
Yeah.
Favorite.
Correct.
Thank you. Closer to 4.
There we go.
Boom, boom.
That's my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm,
What films are over 3 hours?
Gone
And then
with the
we can-
Wind.
Titanic.
Cleopatra.
Coming at you.
Avatar.
Titanic's not
Avatar's
over
not
3
good.
hours.
Isn't it?
No, that's like 2. It's like 2.
No, it's over 2.
Any Bollywood? No, I'm joking. I love Bollywood.
Yeah.
Like,
Let's see.
how long's Kuch Kuch
one-
Hotehe?
How
That's
long is
like-
what?
Kuch Kuch Hotehe.
Spell that out for me.
Kuch HOTA
Yeah.
HAI. I think it's like 2 hours and 30.
It is 3 hours and 5.
Huzzah!
Yeah.
Let's go with that. I love that film.
One of my favourites from that criteria is one from the 1920s. It's called which is like which is a version of the Ring cycles being called Nibelungen.
What is that?
It's what Lord of the Rings was sort of based on.
Yeah,
What
Yeah, it's
a cycle of myths, and mostly revolving around this hero named Siegfried, and yeah.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, and the film itself is about 4.5 hours.
Wow.
But the effects that are in the film, which are for the time, are spectacular. And there's one particular scene where Siegfried fights a dragon, and even though it is painfully clear that there's like a physical model that he's like jumping around and hacking away with the sword, you're still able to engage with it, and accept that that's what it is, like within the context of the film itself. And I just think the whole thing is done spectacularly, and even though it's that long, it's like something that you can sit and enjoy and not get bored with.
Cool.
I actually really want to watch that now. I didn't know there was one.
You should.
Too.
Godfather 2 is over 3 hours, I think. So that's a good one.
What about La Belle et la Bête? How long is that?
I don't think it's over 3 hours.
Welcome to our new segment of Natalie asking how long films
How
are.
long is it?
It's like how long is this obscurely titled foreign film?
I'd quite like to do an entire podcast.
The Dark Knight, is that longer than 3
No,
hours?
it's 2.5.
No, it just feels it.
Yeah.
Hero
Ooh,
with
shade.
Jet Li.
Who wants to go back to the hat? Who wants to choose
Last
next
question
from the hat?
in
Last
the
one.
hat.
Last one in the hat.
You get it.
Angus is going to take up the hat.
It's well scrunched up.
Why is it scrunched up and not folded?
Because I don't know.
Because you're a savage.
What movies and/or TV shows have taken your fancy recently, both in and out of our usual nerdy focus?
That's very similar to the upcoming. I suppose.
It's kind of.
Well,
No,
something
that-
you've seen recently that you liked. Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, I've started watching a TV show and binging it, and it's not new, but I love it.
Called?
So in the last 2 weeks, I've watched about 40 episodes of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah.
I've done the same.
very good.
Yes,
Good choice.
I've done the same. I have done the
So
same thing.
that's become my new favourite thing, and I have to watch it every day.
Title of your sex tape.
Yeah. So I've got withdrawal symptoms right now because this is normally the time that I'd be watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah, well, I really enjoyed the second season of Glow, just because it's just such great fun.
I've been told to watch it. Apparently, it's great.
It's really enjoyable. Yeah, it's just because the balance between full on serious drama and cheesy camp is done brilliantly. And one of the favourite bits was actually right at the end of the last episode. There's not any spoilers from this, but
Sounds a bit like it could be a spoiler, to be honest. And there's no sound that can go over
There
this.
can be a sound in post-production.
I meant for me.
It's okay, I've seen all of it.
Have you?
And the live
You watched all of it?
watchers.
I'm not mentioning anything that happens. It's more just about the way that it's filmed.
He liked a scene in an episode.
It's just because the last few minutes of it are done completely without dialogue.
Well, that sounds like a spoiler.
Well,
He's not
I
going to
disagree
let you have it.
and it says the whole scene is soundtracked with nothing's going to stop us now, and it was supremely epic. And when my wife Jana and I were sitting watching it, we were actually having a completely non-ironic sing-along. Yes, and which was complete with lighters in the air, hand waving.
Aww,
Yeah,
that sounds cute.
yeah, that's what we thought. Yeah. Though Yeah, we were being quite savagely judged by our cats, though.
Oh, okay.
They'll do that
Cats
anyway.
always savagely judge you. It's a thing.
Let's face it, they're just like, what are you doing? And why aren't you feeding us?
Cool. Hello.
I love being savagely judged.
That's part of the erotic about it.
Oh dear.
Anyone else taking a fancy to anything?
I watched Teen Titans Go to the movies at the cinema and thought it was a blast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. I've been watching Dollhouse, been enjoying that. That's about it. Not had much time for anything else.
I'll give you Unforgotten that I've just been watching on TV. Because I think there's something I really want to see more of in geek shows, which is this delay of information. Because I think crime shows do that really well. There's information that's going to come out, and you know you need it to move the plot on. And crime shows, they've obviously developed this skill of giving you information at the right speed that also matches the plot, that they would have this information at that time. And I think geek shows do that terribly.
Can you give me an example? Because, like, Columbo's the opposite of that.
Columbo's a very specific example.
Columbo a geek show, really?
No,
I think it does have a cult
show.
following, so it kind
I
of counts.
love Columbo. I'm just saying, I'm thinking of Columbo being a crime show, but they give you all the information at the very start, and then it's like working backwards.
Well, but Columbo was specifically changing that viewpoint where the audience knew the killer, and it was more about watching the joy of Columbo. So that was on
Absolutely.
purpose. But take it, almost every other crime show would say you don't know who the villain, the criminal is at the start, and they slowly wind you to it. And there's this skill of giving you red herrings, so you think it's this other person, and then we even know the trick now. The trick in crime is that it's always the character that you don't think it is. So you have to be able to, as a writer of those shows, also play with your audience's assumptions now. It's so difficult.
Or the most famous guest star.
Do you know what you would like?
Absolutely.
You would like
That's the Lucifer problem.
Hindi TV like serials, because they're like the most radical. But
For
like,
those listening later, Angus is shaking his head.
no, like seriously, because you're always
Vigorously.
like, what is going on? Who is this?
So
Did they
total
deliver, like, the
confusion is
information?
not the same.
And then it's like switch.
Yeah.
This is really why this happened. And they're great at flashbacks
Okay.
and pausing time. Yeah, you should check some out.
Okay, I will.
It's
I'll do
PR.
that.
It's
If
PR
they do that
Kilcan
well.
I'm doing. It's legit like the best. You should watch
Good luck with
it.
that.
When are we doing our Bollywood podcast?
I don't
That I forgot to mention when everyone said, "What's the podcast that you want to do?" And I was like, I should have said Bollywood.
Well, because you forgot to mention that now, you've got to wait until podcast 200, and then you can bring it back up again for
No.
discussion.
No,
Yeah, sorry.
guys,
So
we
that's a
need
record now.
to go and see a Bollywood.
Let's do it.
How do you know
Yes.
that? How do you know this isn't the Bollywood episode and it's just going to break into song at any moment?
Not all Bollywoods have songs in.
Could be Craig's
See,
desired
this is
musical
why-
episode.
This is why we
so
need that podcast
1998.
then. Yeah.
Do we need some Bollywood music? I have it here.
let's not play anything that might be licensed. Isaac, have you watched anything recently that you've enjoyed?
Well, no, I'm not like. I'm super excited because I've announced Mark Gatiss is writing another. It's like a series of ghost stories for BBC4, and I love Mark Gatiss.
Yeah.
So, and he did the track Take Mid Off a few years ago, which is like, what's he called? Is it E.R. James? I think that was him. Like he used to write old ghost stories. So doing more of them, and I'm super excited. I also recently watched Man from U.N.C.L.E., and I love that movie. I don't know why I didn't watch it the first time because it's the most like cool sort of 60s spy thriller ever.
The film that proves that Henry Cavill has charisma.
It's true. No, yeah, it's really,
Yeah.
really fun film.
Yeah. Where's it been all this time? And why don't people let him use
I
it?
don't really like seeing that. Like, there was all that thing about like, oh, who's going to be the next Bond and stuff. I was like, I'd love to see like Henry Cavill do it, but in the past, like in the 50s, in the Cold War film. They're like, oh yeah, they've already made this movie. It's right here. Hey!
I've not seen that.
It's very good.
Kind of want to see that.
Anyone else got anything that they want to mention?
I've been watching Disenchantment on Netflix.
Oh, I want to watch that.
And have you been enjoying it?
Not as much as I like Futurama, which is a bit of a shame, but I'm giving it a chance
Bring back Futurama.
to prove itself. So.
I think I watched like 5 minutes of it and I was like, this is shit. And then
Supportive as ever.
went
But is it like,
something else.
is it as good as Futurama Series 1? Because like
season one's
Futurama's
pretty
great,
good.
like by like 2 and 3.
Yeah, well, that's it. I think it maybe just needs time to build up
Yeah.
steam.
Maybe. Some shows do.
Yeah, well, my sort of biggest reaction to it was that I wanted to like it more than I actually did.
Yeah, I'm finding the same thing.
I just don't see the point,
Yeah.
and it's super.
Chris, Kat, anything that's lumped into your...
I was watching Westworld. Really, really enjoyed that.
Unfortunately, there's no one to podcast
And then-
about it with.
And then, and then
No.
we watched it.
Oh, you watch it as well? Oh,
Oh,
there we
wow.
go. We're sorted
Have you
for season
finished?
3 then.
Did
Yeah,
you-
yeah. Enjoyed it.
I was like, what the fuck?
It's very confusing,
Edit.
but I kind of like bits of that.
I'm running out of sound
That's a big,
effects.
yeah, we're running out of noises. Yeah. I'm not supposed to be doing this live, am I?
We are after 9
So,
o'clock.
like, to be honest though, like, it got to like the last couple of episodes, and I was like,
There's a lot. I mean, the Nolans sort of mess about with a lot of the time elements of it unnecessarily. I think you could have
Yeah.
played it chronologically, and it would have been just as good a story.
well, I feel like the time thing was interesting, but then it doesn't ever really go beyond. It don't know. It just
Wasn't it told
It
in
became
a
like
kind of
a
forwards
hindrance.
and backwards line
Yeah,
at the same time?
it sort
Memento
of does a
style.
bit, and then
yeah, but
plays
not
with
in a
it.
way that was like interesting.
Yeah,
that's-
without going into
After
spoiler
the first-
after the
territory.
first
But it is worth watching, and they've left it open for sort of different things that they can do with
maybe
It's
it.
a teaser for an
Yeah.
upcoming podcast that may happen, since there's people that aren't me that watch it, and enough people that aren't me that watch it.
We could talk. I don't know.
Yeah, I've not
don't know.
watched it.
I
It's
feel
on-
like I'd get really angry talking about it.
It's on the list.
I think I only watched like the pilot, really didn't like it, didn't watch the rest. And like it's one of those shows that like it's definitely within the scope of like things that are definitely my kind of like story. Yeah, like definitely within like the kind of sci-fi sort of thing that I tend to enjoy. But it was just, because it started with such like a heavy like misogynist sort of moment, I was like not here for this actually. And I'm aware that the rest of the show is about, like the female characters and like
yeah, it's quite interesting.
like
'cause,
everybody
it's
sort of like
definitely,
taking back control.
empowerment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm like, do I need this sort of like, negativity, violence, and just like
I mean, that part
pain,
of it is quite
I'm-
interesting.
yeah,
And you should watch it so we can talk about it.
maybe, perhaps.
But,
I'll put a pin in that.
So if that's that,
But
before
the
we
final hat question, in that case, I think you should put the hat on.
I'm not going to wear the
Wear
hat. It's
the
too
hat.
warm in here.
Wear the hat.
yeah, it's
Wear
really
the
warm.
hat. Wear the hat.
No, it's too warm in here.
Just for a minute, so people can
Evelyn says
experience
hello.
the
Hello,
hat.
Evelyn.
I will put the hat on for...
Do people on
Few seconds.
Facebook want to see Craig in the hat? Yes, they do.
For people
Right.
listening to the podcast, the hat is now on. I repeat, the hat is now on.
And it looks very good.
My podcast.
Tips for Nora.
Okay, before we move segments, do we have any more questions from
Oh my
the
god.
audience?
Yeah, have we got a question
There's
from the
more.
audience? Does anybody want to give us some more? Let me see. I'm just going to go back through the chat.
I think the note for the edit,
See
the
if we've
bleep should be
got
someone
anything.
going, 100 everybody!
Woo!
Yeah, I'm roasting with this thing on. Sorry.
Throw it like Michael Jackson style.
The hat is now off. I repeat.
Long live the hat. I was going to take a picture of him, but he's taken off the hat now.
We'll get it again. It's fine. In fact, we can take a screenshot now from the live feed. We've got it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So no more questions from the audience for now?
Not right now. No.
Okay.
Anyone still watching?
Yes, we've got 9 people right now.
9. Cool. One of them's
Nine
here.
people.
Nope.
No, his phone's off.
Who are?
Can we have some cheesy music to move us to the next segment?
Are you just wanting the same stab again?
Pick a different one.
You want a different one?
Why do we need one at all?
Because it's fun.
Because it's there.
Podcast.
Because it's
If the
there.
musical equivalent of puns, they can't let them go.
Oh god. Okay.
Yeah, this is
Oh, yeah.
the musical equivalent of a pun.
I actually quite like this one. This is one of my favourites.
You're dancing. Oh, key change. That just makes it perfect.
Yeah, you can just wave along. It's fine,
How long does this have to be? Because like legit could be in 5 seconds.
I could have shortened it down to a little stab, but I thought you deserved the whole thing.
Wait, it's still like okay, we're doing this. It's still going.
Yeah. We're like fully committed to a very cheap sounding question of sport.
This is Chris's favourite movie over 3 hours long.
think that's plenty. Oh, it's over.
Wow, that was so Partridge.
So the next segment is ask/embarrass the boss. I've encouraged everyone to come up with a question for me that I have to answer.
Wear the
I forgot
hat. Wear
about
the
that.
hat.
No, that's
Yeah,
not a
wear
question.
the hat.
That's
Will you wear the hat again? That's not my question.
It's warm. I was like really warm while wearing it, so I'd rather not.
I need to think of what my question's going to be.
Okay, so not Natalie first then. Who has prepared a question that would like to go first?
I did.
Then the floor is yours.
Okay. Well, the question I came up with is out of all of the reviews that you've written for the site, is there anything which you've written in the past which for any reason you now regret?
Not really. I don't ever feel like I've been disingenuous. I did write a review of a horror film at a film festival that I didn't like, but I concentrated on the positives because I was interviewing the guy, and then I interviewed the guy and he was the nicest person. I was glad I didn't tear apart his film, even though I didn't think it was that good. And, I didn't hate it, but it was a pretty pedestrian horror film. So I suppose I would regret doing that, but. And that interview never made it on because I don't know where it is. Because they told me to wait until November or something when the film was actually released. And then my computer died in the meantime. And it still exists. I found it on a flash drive somewhere, but I need to get around to actually dealing with it. Because it was a good interview. But so that was that one.
That's actually quite a sad story.
Kind of
Do you
is.
have any nice happy ones?
of regret.
I really enjoyed it.
Happy regret stories.
Wait, which film was it?
Which film was it? Firstborn, it was called.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Nurpal, he's really lovely.
Yeah. Although
lovely man.
I do regret reviewing Inhumans and Heroes Reborn because I hated both of them and hated them more as the episodes went on. And my thing is, if I start reviewing a TV show, I will do at least one season. And I hated both of them and was stuck with them until the very end.
I mean, so did everybody with Inhumans at least.
Well, no, but not that many people hated it because not that many people saw it.
Yeah, not enough
that's
people to hate it.
Yeah, no, that
Yeah.
IMAX preview, that was a
4
thing.
showings a day.
That was a
4
thing.
people per screening.
That
I think.
happened, yeah, absolutely. It
That
cost more to run the screening than what they made.
So I guess those are my regret. Although I don't really regret because I'm normally pretty honest with my opinions, and I like to try and justify them. So
I've got a semi-related question for you.
fire away.
Has there been a sort of review you've given or an opinion you've had that has since changed? So you've written the review, it's out there, and then perhaps you watch the film again, or you've thought about it and then gone, actually, I would change the rating for that.
Yeah, that happens all the time. When you see something, you'll have an instant opinion of it, and then when I review it, it's usually pretty soon after I've seen it, so the opinion is kind of freshish. And then by the time I get to later on, it usually happens when I'm doing my end of year sort of ratings, my top 10 of the year, and I'll be like, oh no, I wouldn't have given that as high rating or as lower rating. It happens. It does happen all the time where I revisit something or think about something, and then it does change.
Has there been one that kind of sticks out? That's interesting.
I actually wish I'd rated Dracula Untold higher than I did.
What?
Yeah, it was. I don't know. I keep coming back to it, and I've seen it 3 times because I actually really enjoyed it. And I forget the actual numbered rating I gave it. I think it was 6 out of 10, and I think it deserved at least a 7, maybe an 8. That was when I was doing out of 10s for films. Now I do stars. So I would probably give it. I would actually give it 4 stars.
I think that's really generous, but
Well,
good for you.
It's
if
an
you enjoy
enjoyment-based
it.
thing, but and it's something that's stuck with me, and I've enjoyed it more each of the other 2 times I've seen it.
If you could pick up any of the famous podcast sponsors, which one would you go with and why?
Oh, that's a good
Are you listening,
question.
sponsors?
Casper mattresses, because I hear they're really comfy and I'd quite like a free one. Or at least a heavy discount
They
on
come
one.
delivered in the box the size of a mini fridge.
I know. Yeah, you wouldn't believe the size of the box.
I can't believe you forgot that one that gives you the meals all the things you set
Blue
up.
Apron?
Remember when we came up with the idea for mail order donuts?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, we're workshopping the budget and everything now, and eventually you can get donuts right to your door.
Well, that's like the only thing you can't get on like mail order subscription now, isn't it?
But the problem is that we'll wrap them in foil and post them individually through the letterbox, so they may not arrive in the best condition.
Right, so this segment's embarrassed the boss, isn't it? We haven't done that yet. Are you about to?
Well, my question kind of related to that, and it was going to be when Kneel Before Pod inevitably becomes an extremely profitable venture, how much of a percentage can the rest of your contributors expect?
Yeah.
I think that will be a case-by-case basis. It depends on the volume of contributions.
I don't think it should be about volume because I feel like I haven't contributed to that many, but that when I've been here, I've been fantastic.
Well, no, you've been on more than some people, so I think it would be. I don't know. It would be some kind of.
It'd be an annual performance-based review, based on a scoring matrix that has been predefined to work in our favour.
My gut feeling is it might just be an episode-by-episode sort of payment if I was able to do that, because you just get paid for the time that you're there.
But the thing is that they'll given the number of podcasts on which Natalie has only been there for half of it. Then like will that count as one recording or
comes in late every time?
That would be pro rata, I think.
I'll have you in which we're embarrassing Natalie.
No. I'll have you know that our fans like that. Or forever hold your silence. But like legit, multiple people have messaged me and said that they think I'm brilliant. So.
Yes, well, and I actually commented once that it's quite a fun occurrence when it happens.
You're welcome.
Well, thank you.
And I think that means I shouldn't be pro rata because I feel like.
Well, it's a discussion we'll have if and when we become a global empire.
What are you talking about?
Is
it because we've only got like
when we become a
6-figure people watching and listening to us?
We actually have 6 people watching right now.
6-figure, I was
we've
breaking.
lost it.
We're going to edit in 6,000 is going to be the number that we're going to leave on the podcast. So.
If you want to help make that reality, there's a donate button on the website.
Oh.
Give us a couple of quid. I don't know.
See, he keeps telling us that people aren't hitting it, but I think people are spamming that donate button and he's keeping it for himself.
There's a bored Chinese billionaire that just keeps giving me millions every week. I haven't told you. Yeah.
Where do you think all these steel books come from?
G4 Special Edition.
G4 Special Edition.
I don't know. After Brexit, all those precious metals inside those steel books will be worth a fortune.
That's it.
Oh my god!
I'll be the societal elite at that point. Good question, though.
It's funny because it's true.
Yeah.
If you could have a talking animal following you about, giving you advice in your day-to-day life, what animal would it be and why?
Does it have to be a real animal, or can it be a mythical animal?
Oh, you could go with a mythical animal if you want, but it's following you about every day. So, like, you're sitting at your desk trying to get on with your work, and your mythical animal is sitting next to you giving you advice.
I think I would like a really small dragon, because it has to be small enough that it's not just going to trash everywhere we go into, but big enough that it's kind of there.
Does it talk in English?
I think it's multilingual, but in order for me to understand it, it has to talk in English.
And you already know what you would call it, so go for it.
Do I?
Jack.
Yeah. Well, you've got this thought out.
I haven't thought this out. I'm pretty sure he would tell me his name when he appeared to me.
Oh.
Well, he's thought all of that out for sure.
Stay tuned for season 2 of Kneel Before Pod, where Craig is talking to an imaginary dragon that only he can see. Cool.
I still think we should go for something more embarrassing.
Well,
this was embarrass the bar.
Fire away.
Where'd you hide the bodies, Craig?
I admit I'm not good on the spot, but I've got one, so I'll chuck it out there, and you can tell me if it's off limits or too far. It's probably not too far.
Oh god, it better be too far.
It's not erotica, really, but it could go that way if Craig chooses. Okay. All right.
I'm
Okay.
listening.
I'm now nervous.
So, I thought that was the point. I thought that was the point. So, who have you dreamed about that you've ever thought, oh my god, I can't believe I dreamed that, or oh my god, I'm so glad I had that dream? And what was the dream?
Unfortunately, I don't often remember my dreams.
Oh.
Can it anyone, or does it have to be like someone in this room?
As long as it's embarrassing
That's
to you,
the
it's
second
fine.
part of the question. I was going to say, tell us one of the famous
I don't
one,
recall.
and then tell us if you've dreamed a boss.
I don't recall I've ever dreamed about anyone in this room.
Well, that's depressing.
I don't ever remember my dreams.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a dream, that would be a nightmare.
Yeah, it would be a nightmare. I've had several nightmares about this very podcast. No. So that's everybody. Dreams, I don't know. I honestly can't remember any specific dream I've had about anyone.
Disappointing.
I know.
Right,
Boring.
somebody else, something
make
really
something
embarrassing.
Yeah.
No, don't make something up. Something embarrassing. Somebody, come on. On the spot. Do it. Ask him about erotica. That'll so be embarrassing for him.
Which part? Have you read any?
No.
Why not?
Just haven't, I guess. I don't know.
Where do I go with that?
yeah.
Nowhere.
Nowhere.
I don't know, you could ask him if he would want to, you know.
Do you want to read erotica?
I'm not against reading anything, really. If I like what the story is, then I'll read it.
I don't really like
Have you written any of your own slash
stories,
fiction?
I have not. I have not.
No?
No.
Not even Power Rangers?
Not even Power Rangers.
You've never written anything about Power Rangers?
I have written things about Power Rangers, but not slash fiction.
Why not?
Too bad.
I don't know.
Why
I
not?
just
I
haven't.
feel like you should have like
Because
a
I feel like I'd be
workshop
corrupting innocence if I did that.
Innocence or your innocence?
What
My
is,
innocence.
what is your opinion on the references to slash fiction included periodically in Supernatural?
Guys, what is slash fiction?
Very funny. I love Supernatural, and I think the way they did slash
gays.
fiction.
What?
The gays.
Yeah, it's basically like it's fan fiction focused on characters having sex, usually gay sex.
Oh, slash
If it's
fiction.
slash-
Oh yeah, Craig, who do you ship? Tell us anything about your ship.
I hate that term. Yeah, I hate that.
Wow. So who's okay? So
Wait a minute,
who-
what was the question? Supernatural slash fiction.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. The bit where there was like there's slash fiction about Sam and Dean, and it was they do know we're brothers, right?
Yeah.
And it's like not such a
Yeah.
problem for these people. Yeah, that was.
There's a lot of really choice Supernatural slash.
Oh, I can imagine.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
But I don't
So
want
Craig-
ooh, the fandom is great.
Yeah.
So you said you haven't read any erotica, but then you've read all of this like sexualized.
No, I haven't.
No, it's on the
Fiction.
show.
No, it's something they talk about on the show. I think
What
the
show?
closest thing to
Supernatural.
I think the closest
So
thing to
does it-
slash fiction I've ever experienced is the film Slash, where I interviewed the director.
Oh yeah,
I'm so confused.
I was so disappointed in him.
In Supernatural, there's
I've never seen it.
there was a subplot among the early seasons, where all of the events that had been happening in the series had been published as novels by
Spoiler alert.
had been published as novels. Like
This was like a decade ago.
Spoiler alert,
Literally
Ollie.
a decade ago.
Yeah.
Jesus,
It's
been a while. That show is
and the fans of this book were writing writing sex and sordid
So is this
stories.
like real life or not real life?
It's not real.
Not real life, no, like in universe.
Well, it also probably happens in real life.
it does
It
happen.
does,
Well,
yes.
because that's why I was gonna say to you, I was gonna be like, so you said
He looks at me knowingly. I've written supernatural fiction.
You
There
answered
we
that
go.
too quickly.
Yes.
It has happened in real life.
Yeah, no, it has. It does.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah, it's fandom.
So you said you haven't read any erotica,
No,
but you must have read some of this fiction.
no, I haven't.
Why?
Well, let's twist it. Let's twist it
What
again.
he's just saying.
No, let's twist it again. If you could appear in, if you could star in slash fiction with anybody, who would you choose? And you have to pick somebody.
Henry Cavill.
Well,
Isaac's straight on
Isaac
that
knows.
it's going to be Chris Pine or
Chris Pine would be hilarious.
Bill Shatner.
one. Oh my
Oh, that'd be the
God.
worst.
No.
That'd be terrifying.
Let's go with the Green Arrow himself, Stephen Amell. He's a
Oh,
handsome
there you
man. He is a handsome man.
Okay.
As the Green Arrow or as him himself?
Well, as the Green Arrow. It's Slash, isn't it?
You could start off with the green arrow costume on and slowly take it off.
Wait. So, I think I've just understood something.
Oh God.
So
Can we have a light bulb moment
when
in
you
edit, please?
said when you said gaze, I thought you meant GAZE. But are you actually meaning
Oh.
like?
As in the gays,
Yeah,
the gays,
yeah.
G-A-Y-S.
But no one says that anymore.
Oh, the gays do.
Reclaim that word.
Oh well.
We do. we
So
do.
like, all right.
That's why
Just gonna roll back on that one.
I also thought you were referring to something to do with the mic. Like gaze, I was like, oh, it needs to be closer.
Yeah, and I was thinking gaze as in like the gaze,
That,
as in Z.
Yeah.
as in, like,
The
looking.
viewer's
Like a
gaze.
gaze.
The male
Yeah.
gaze.
Yeah, the male gaze.
This is like when they
Gaze,
thought. This is like when she
What does
thought
that
that
mean?
Idris Elba was going to attack James Kirk's town in
Oh, yeah.
Star Trek Beyond because
Oh, yeah.
she thought it said your town instead of Yorktown. They're going to attack your town. It's like, what's on earth? Quite far away.
We have a question from the audience.
Oh, God.
Would you like to take it?
Is it slash fiction related?
It is not.
Oh, sorry.
Unfortunately, it isn't. No. So we have a question from the audience, which is from
who's-
Curtis.
Curtis.
I really wanted you to say it was Craig's mum. Then.
Craig's mom wants us to take a picture of Craig with the hat, so that's going to happen, Jillian. That's for you only.
Is your mom called Jillian? I feel like I've asked you that before.
It is indeed her name. Unless she's
So,
been lying to me for the past 31 years.
I think that was your response last time too. Oh well.
so Curtis asks, a new Bill and Ted movie is being made. Are you guys looking forward to it?
Heck yes. Hold on. I'm ready now. Okay, go.
Well, Stallions rule.
Yeah, it's one of those weird franchise revivals that's reviving, and maybe it shouldn't. I don't know. We'll have
I just
see,
want to say
but
that that's a stupid question because like the answer is obviously yes.
I'm actually of the
There are no
opinion
stupid
that
questions.
it's not, if it ain't broke, like, don't.
No,
Just don't.
Like, I want more.
Don't reboot it.
I want
Yeah,
more.
like,
I'll
I'm
watch
happy.
it.
I'm
I'm
happy
gonna
with
watch
those
it.
two movies. Like, I don't know.
No, I've not seen them.
I'm really
so.
excited.
But weren't you?
Any of them?
Weren't you
Oh my
saying
God.
earlier, Natalie, that you
Yeah.
wanted why are people not making original movies anymore? Oh, what? Who needs all these reboots and these sequels? Natalie.
Yeah,
A woman
because
of
it's always about
contradictions.
Spider-Man or Wolverine.
I hear they're going to be in Bill and Ted 3.
It is. Well, they've given it some
It's
space.
Bill and Ted enter the Marvel
They've
universe.
given it some space.
Could happen.
So, oh my god.
You heard it
But
here first.
seriously. I did actually find a Circle K in Canada though, and I got really excited. Tried several times to take a video of myself saying strange things are afoot at the Circle K. Couldn't do it. So there you go.
Are there any
Circle
more
K.
questions for the boss or from the audience?
Are we the audience?
Well,
No.
no.
No, I think we're in it.
You really don't get this, do you?
Okay. Do you have any other questions, or was that the only part of the segment?
That was the only part of the segment.
Ooh,
And-
are we ready to?
Unless there's other
I'm not ready for more music.
unless there's other questions from the audience, this will be the end of our live segment. It's a tease. It is a tease for the actual podcast, which
Wait,
will
I
appear.
thought we were actual podcasting right now because this is going to be 4 hours long. This is going to be longer than a Lord of the Rings, and I can't handle it.
You don't have to listen
I don't
to
think
it.
it's
Yeah.
going to be that long, but
Yeah. So
There's only one more segment left.
2 more segments.
Is it?
Oh my god.
Does the
Yeah. The rest of the podcast will be available for your listening pleasure at some point. We still have 3 podcasts to record before this becomes 100th episode.
Tonight.
So we're going to get started on these topics now. So we're doing Westworld, we're doing Bollywood, and we're doing something else all tonight.
The musical.
The musical episode.
musical
The musical episode will happen at some point.
Based around G-Force.
Based on G-Force, the musical. I'm in it. I'm in.
Is there slash fiction for G-Force?
I really hope
there
not.
probably is.
Richard Gere.
That counts. God. Okay. So, do we have any final questions from the audience before we sign off the live?
Not at the moment, no.
I want to say
think we're
thank
ready
you
to
for the
go.
questions.
Thank you, audience.
Namaste.
Thank you all for tuning in.
Thank you all for
Just
tuning
hope
in.
you had a good
Thank you for
time.
listening to us.
Yeah. And
Are
be
we
sure to
legit
check
leaving
out
them?
the
We're
next
leaving
one.
them. I don't know if we can leave them. They've been with us for so long.
Well, hopefully they'll tune into the rest of it on mealbeforeblog.com. .co.uk.
Although I did buy .com, so
Ooh.
if you put .com in, it will redirect you to .co.uk.
To .co.uk.
So
Well,
why
in
not
any
just
case,
make it .com?
Because I don't know how to do that.
technical difficulties.
Boss is embarrassed.
Hey.
One of my websites ends with .space, and I thought that was cool because I like space.
It'll be in the
That's
show
cool.
notes, probably.
What, my website?
Yeah,
Oh, thanks. It's lionsvalentine.space.
cool. Okay, so
Do you want a quick stab and then we're out?
yes.
Quick stab, okay.
What's a
That's
quick
amazing.
stab?
Yeah!
I have to say, I just love how much
someone knows what they're doing, turn the live feed off.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Kind of, it's true.
Thank you, audience.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
I'm in a hot tea, so I can't dance.
Oh, well, good for you.
And now we're not live. Welcome back. We are here in our non-live segment of the podcast. So anyone who was watching us live, hopefully you've joined in for this part. Otherwise, why are we here?
For the other listeners, Craig.
For the other listeners, thanks
The
for
blind.
being here. Yeah. Well, okay. This is why we invite Isaac on, because he'll say the things that no one else will. Right. So
That's why he's my favourite.
our current segment, we are going to play a game.
Oh,
Yay!
sorts.
Yay!
No, not of sorts. It's a game.
Yay.
Hurrah!
Okay, so I'm going to turn us over to our tame producer, who has suggested and built this game for us. So thank you, Chris.
Yeah.
Tell us the rules and tell us how we're going to play
I
it.
suggested this casually, and then I ended up having to make it annoyingly because I thought I'll just sort of spit the idea out there, and Craig will get on with it because he's the boss, and we can sort of give him.
As you
work
know,
to
I
do.
don't know how to do anything.
Yeah, so here is what the game is. I thought it would be fun to take clips from the podcast and then disguise people's voices. So in theory, you can't tell who it is, and then ask you who it is. And if you get it correct, you get a point. If you get it incorrect, it passes to the person next to you. So for people,
What, you don't know everyone's name.
if you don't know everyone's names, you're
Then
going
you
to
get it
struggle, and you may come last in the
I
competition.
feel like that's going to happen.
What do you win?
Have you done
Credibility.
pride
I've got loads of
in the
them.
knowledge that you won.
Brag rights, basically.
Bragging rights. Yeah.
There are snacks. You can have a snack.
Oh, that's fine.
Didn't someone bring in like Ferrero Rochers? Because like, where did those go?
Yes, I did.
They are
Hello.
By the
They
Yes,
said
the winner
they
can
were
have
far away.
the first Ferrero Rocher.
Ambassador's reception.
Oh God!
Can we just get them now?
Now the game show audience.
then what would the winner be able to brag about?
The last Ferrero Rocher.
So they have to wait till everyone else has had one. What a
And it's amazing that you paid that person to come here with that massive tray of Ferrero Rocher as well and just keep walking round the room. I mean, you could have just put them on the
he's just
table.
doing a viewing because we're getting kicked out.
I thought you were supposed to like put fresh bread in the oven or something like that, not Ferrero Rocher on a tray. Is that?
If anyone knows where we can live, tell us.
Are you guys actually getting kicked out?
Yes.
Wow. What are you going to do?
Starve and freeze.
Starve and die.
Wow.
Get it
It
out.
sounds like an exciting opportunity to find some cool place.
It's an opportunity to move closer still to the cinema.
No, that's really expensive.
in the cinema.
It's like inside. Yeah.
I'll be like the Phantom of the cinema. I'll just live there and play an organ really
I
badly.
mean, it's well known that all projection booths are haunted. So
I can haunt their projection booth. No one's ever in there anyway.
That sounds like a really nice
'Cause of all the
chat
ghosts.
up,
It's a
like-
room full of servers
And Ghost.
and ghosts. And then me. And I can talk to the ghosts. It's going to be amazing.
Let me haunt
I'm doing
the
that.
projection room. I think that sounds sexy.
So,
So
ready to
erotica.
begin.
Okay, so we will start here and then we will work our way around. So if you get it wrong, moves to Craig, moves to Aaron, moves to and so on.
It should
all
be
the way
noted
around
that
the
Chris was pointing at Andrew.
room. Yeah, I was pointing at Andrew. Sorry, Andrew.
That's quite right.
I'm forgetting we're not on video now, so I'm doing back to
We're
podcasting.
no longer live because my
Back-
phone ran out of battery.
Back to radio. Yeah, well, it was we finished it at the right time just
It wasn't
before
the
it
right
died.
It was on the
Yeah.
cusp
It
of running
wasn't,
out of battery. That's amazing.
So you get a few seconds to answer. If you don't answer, it's going to pass on to Craig. You get one play of the clip each time.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And then it'll pass around to the next person, and whoever gets the most by the end wins.
I
Hurrah.
legit love games, but like, oh my god.
Craig is keeping score. He's got a little tally chart on the go. Are you ready for clip number one?
Bring it.
Okay, and am I ready for clip number one? Is the other thing. There we go. Let's have clip number one.
Still just kind of there and covered in scales and occasionally grunting.
Okay, go.
Good luck.
covered in scales and occasionally grunting.
And we're back to the erotica.
Yeah, I think that might be Craig.
I think it might be Craig. You're incorrect, Craig.
Let me hear it again.
Okay.
Not allowed to.
Still just kind of there and covered in scales and occasionally grunting.
I'm going to guess cat.
Still just kind of
yes.
scales and occasionally grunting.
It was.
What was that? What did I say that about?
Still
I don't
just
remember
kind
this.
of there and covered in scales and occasionally grunting.
You were talking about Killer Croc in Suicide Squad.
That is true. I stand by my statement. He is just kind of there and occasionally grunting.
Oh my God,
and
I'm in the
covered
lead.
scales.
All right, Craig, this is your chance to extend your lead by another one because you get the next clip first up, okay?
Yeah.
It looks, from at least from my casual observation, that they've got both bottom and top teeth prosthetics in.
Andrew?
Incorrect. Aaron?
I think that sounds like Craig's doing.
Incorrect.
Oh, I didn't
I
even
know it
wait to
wasn't
hear
you.
it again.
No.
Do you want it one more time? Do you want it again?
I reckon it's you. Did you say it?
Incorrect. Nope, it wasn't me.
God.
That's a hard one.
It's trying to remember clues as you go around. People that do Star Trek podcasts on our network. Sorry.
Oh, jeez.
Sandy.
It looks, from at least from my casual observation, that
He is the person
they've got
who takes
both
casual
bottom and
observation.
top teeth prosthetics in.
It's talking about Klingon teeth.
Can I hear the masked version?
From at least from my casual observation, that they've got both bottom and top teeth prosthetics in.
This is the next podcast, by the way.
I think the next podcast should be just everybody has distorted voices. Like, I dig this so much.
This already take long enough to edit.
Okay, Aaron, we are on to you. This is clip number 3.
Singing nuns, which was, it was funny, it was there. However, I just, the back of my head I'm going, you've just blown a hole in the secret bait.
Singing nuns. Dear, I can't remember what they could possibly be. I'm going to check out Random Angus.
Random Angus, incorrect.
Damn.
Yeah.
Are you wanting another play at the clip?
No, so it's about singing nuns.
Singing nuns.
It's probably Legion. Who does Legion?
I don't remember any.
Oh, it's Craig. Is that a Craig one?
Incorrect.
I don't remember any singing nuns.
I'm going to guess Chris.
Singing nuns, which was, it was funny.
Yeah.
However, I just the back of my head, I'm going. You've just blown a hole in the secret bait. We were talking about Power Rangers and singing nuns. So there you go. Okay, clip number 4. Let's go for this. Are you ready?
Yep.
We could do a summary. Batman, yeah, we liked him. Superman, yeah, we liked him. Lex Luthor, utterly rubbish. No reason to be in there at all, but we sort of like what she did.
So it's Batman v Superman. I'm not listening to any of them, so no, I'm going to guess. Is it Angus?
Incorrect.
Ah.
I am going to guess Aaron.
We could do a summary. Batman, yeah, we liked him. Superman, yeah, we liked him. Lex Luthor, utterly rubbish. Wonder Woman, no reason to be in there at all, but we sort of like what she did.
You're on a roll. Okay, this is your turn to get the clip first. Okay.
Here we go.
Let's say that you were on a Tinder, you know, you're having a little online conversation with the girl or whatever, it's like, oh yeah, hi, do you want to meet at a bar? You know, you went to the bar with her, and you just stroked her face like, oh, I'm not disappointed. She's like, you'd be arrested immediately.
What?
You'll be arrested immediately.
Is that one Isaac?
Let's say that you were on Tinder, you know, you're having a little online conversation with the girl or whatever, and it was like, oh yeah, hi, do you want to meet at a bar? You know, you went to the bar with her, and then you just stroked her face like, oh, I'm not disappointed. She's like, you'd be arrested immediately.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Was Ready Player One.
Correct. All right, are we ready, Natalie?
I don't know, because like this is bizarre.
You get yourself. You probably get you.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
We need to get him in, you know, the Avengers or the Justice League or something. I think he could be a real asset to these people.
Oh my God.
What?
Who said it?
My face hurts.
Chris.
Incorrect.
Damn it.
Can I have it again?
Yep.
We need to get him in, the Avengers or the Justice League or something. I think he could be a real asset to these people.
Oh, that's Craig.
We need to get him in, the Avengers or the Justice League or something. I think he could be a real asset to these people.
What was I talking about?
Turbo Man.
Turbo
Jingle
Man.
Ball Way.
And I agree. What a guy.
Stand by the statement.
Okay, Kat, we are on to you for...
Is this the final one?
Let's find out if
There's almost no point in playing. We have a clear winner.
We have a clear winner already, but for fun.
We'll just,
For the prize.
For the prize, let's go for this.
Just on a date pretending to be splashing things.
I didn't hear that.
I'll give it again, because it is a bad silly one.
Pretending to be splashing things. You look really cute.
What?
I don't know.
Ooh.
I can't tell. I can't tell what the words are, let alone anything.
It is a bad one, that one, I'm sorry.
Okay, I am going to guess Natalie.
Just cutting about pretending to be splashing things. He looked really cute.
Who was that?
It's talking about Hugh Jackman doing ADR for Logan.
so funny. So that was the game. The winner with 4 points was Angus. And in joint second was me, Andrew, and Kat with 1.
Oh. Are you wanting a second playoff?
Do we have a second playoff?
We can play. I've got another clip. I've got 2 clips.
Well, we may as well hear.
Are you wanting an extra
I want
clip?
to hear them. If you've done the work, I want to hear them.
All right. Okay. So we'll go fastest finger first, or fastest person shouting out first. Okay, we'll go for that.
The drugs aren't packaged up nicely. They're probably in someone's desk, and they'll actually try and sneak a bit in the middle of English.
I think you were a fraction of a second before me.
I want to get one right.
You were a fraction of a second before me.
Hold on.
The drugs aren't packaged up nicely. They're probably in someone's desk, and they'll actually try and sneak a bit in the middle of English.
What are you talking about?
Black Lightning?
Black Lightning.
Aaron has the best quotes.
Dear me. You want one more just for...
If you have the last one, let's do it.
One more for giggles.
Hey, I've got a point, which means I'm now joint second.
Oh, God. We've added more. Okay, one more.
You already feel as if you've got a certain idea what superpowers in this universe are. And then there's this entire different...
You already feel as if you've got a certain idea what superpowers in this universe are. And then there's this entire different kind of...
Aaron won. Joint second.
Everyone's joint second
except from you. Yeah.
There we go. Everybody wins.
So Angus gets the first Ferrero Rocher. Well done.
Yeah. I'll add it to my Christmas movie title.
You do get the first one because it's through there.
Yeah, okay, you can go and get it for me.
The winner decrees... I don't know.
Joint second!
Isaac, dead last.
Sorry, Isaac.
Wear it with pride.
Yeah.
Just make sure you get your, drugs in people's desk t-shirt at the Kneel Before blog store. Yeah. Well, that game was excellent. I thought it was great. Never heard myself distorted before, apart from the time that I did it to myself.
What?
When I
Erotica.
Walked right into that one.
I really did. It's when I made myself sound like Zordon on the Power Rangers podcast.
Definitely erotica.
Maybe. I don't know.
Walked right into that one was a subtitle.
Title of my sex tape.
A real Zordon for it.
Because that was a good pun.
I feel like I should have a punchline drum here. I'm under equipped.
I'll put it in later. Yeah, I'll get it. I'll get the snare. Yeah. That's fine. So, Chris, can you play some cheesy music to take us to our final segment of the evening?
Are you wanting our favourite cheesy music? Will we just stick?
Yeah, that's our brand.
I kind of love it.
And welcome to our final segment of the evening. I don't have a name for it, but it's scenarios. So we have some really exciting contributors who have recorded scenarios that they're going to give us to talk about, or talk about what we'd do. All of these people are people that have been interviewed in the past by, well, either myself or Aaron. Aaron interviewed one of them. So, any order you like, producer, play one of them.
Wait, are these like famous people?
Yep. Some of them could
I
be
don't actually know who
described
anyone
as
is,
famous.
so, like-
Yeah, well, you probably wouldn't know who these people are, but they're people I know about. So.
And he knows a lot.
Go.
The big 100 episodes episode. Congratulations. I'm not sure if I've ever done 100 of anything, really. My name is Farah Aviva. I'm an actor and photographer, and I did my interview with Neil Before Blog when I just wrapped playing Daniela on Supernatural. I played a witch that teamed up with the boys, the famous boys of Supernatural, to try and hunt down a serial killer who I'm not going to tell you it was, in case you're still watching that season. Now, the good question. If I were to remake a movie with Muppets, keeping one human actor, who would it be? What movie? Well, let me tell you, it would be Taken. Liam Neeson, only human actor, and he is hunting down Muppets. Congratulations on 100 episodes. I hope to see you reach 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, and then the big 1,000 plus. Talk to you soon.
That's a lot of episodes.
Oh, that's really lovely.
Yeah, she is very lovely.
I misunderstood what this segment was.
Good anecdote about Farah Aviva. She sent me a DVD. G-Force. No, she was in a movie where Michael J. Fox plays an experimental dog. And I was like, I really want to see this film. So she said they don't have UK distribution, but she'd happily post it to me. Aww. So I gave my address to a stranger on the internet. And that's exactly what she did. And we watched it, didn't we, Isaac? And
yeah, it was really
how
good.
much did we love it? So I'd recommend watching Archie if you can give it a
I
hold
think
of it.
that's actually really sweet.
It was very sweet.
That's like famous. You're like famous.
Well,
you nodded.
For those listening,
I
he
don't
just
like to brag.
gave it non-committal shrug.
I don't get to brag about much, but that's one thing I can brag. Yeah, it was good. So, will I just go first?
Mm-hmm.
For me, I've thought about this a lot, would be John Wick. Because I really want to see just all the felt and, googly eyes flying about during the nightclub shootout scene. And, yeah, just Muppets everywhere getting mowed down by John Wick's superior firing skills. It would be amazing. And obviously Keanu Reeves is the actor. And it works on another level because he's just really exasperated that he has to deal with Muppets. Brilliant. That's mine.
Mine would be Jurassic Park, and only Jeff Goldblum would be the only human actor, and also dinosaurs would be just giant Muppets.
I want to see that.
I want to see that now.
But I'd also watch a version if he were the only Muppet.
Like just voicing the Muppet.
Yeah.
The only Muppet, everyone else is human. And you've got Jeff Goldblum as a Muppet.
With the shirt, you guys, yeah.
Yeah, oh god. The shirtless scene would be hilarious.
And possibly in keeping with the theme, I would do Independence Day, keeping Jeff Goldblum.
This is his new market.
This is just going to be Jeff Goldblum remakes every film, but every film he's ever done, but with Muppets. I'd watch them all, every single one, including Thor Ragnarok.
I'm going to go with 127 hours, and The Rock is a Muppet, and it's like a musical segment. So the poor guy's trapped in, the Rocks are sort of like, they're all bobbing around like Muppets, like singing, and Muppets are singing like, oh, you're going to have to cut off your rock. And he's like screaming pain and all that.
So keep James Franco, obviously.
Yeah, keep James Franco, and then like the surroundings are Muppets.
And the other characters? There's a couple other characters in it.
Oh, I've not seen it, I just thought it was funny.
They're Muppets too.
Yeah.
That would legit be amazing. Oh my god, that would be amazing. Why do people not think creatively like this? This is what I want to watch.
Well, that's why we're doing this. We are available for...
Jim Henson's corporation is listening, yeah.
Jim Henson's estate. It's
pretty much how you saw the world.
Through the eyes of Muppets.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd like to see Godzilla, where the only human is in fact Godzilla, stomping around Muppet City.
What? I'm still thinking of mine. I kind of have one.
All right.
I kind of have one.
Go.
Well, I don't think it's the best thing that I could think of. I think I could think better. But
You did have the option to see these ahead of time.
I'm going with Die Hard, and I want to see Hans Gruber be the only human. And then everyone else puppet.
Well, I would love the broken glass scene where there's just...
Yeah, it's just some puppeteer like rolling around in the glass with his hand up in the air.
It's also the it's just like little bits of fluff instead of blood. Just
It's like when Kermit was on a bike and like the Muppets take Manhattan and his legs sort of like spin around the wheel thing.
Brilliant.
Mine would be my favorite Lord of the Rings movie, which is The Two Towers. But the only human is Orlando Bloom as Legolas. Because imagine the Battle of Helm's Deep, right? With just felt orcs and felt when the elves show up and just, because Orlando Bloom, let's face it, makes the best faces and just... you've got like your King Theoden giving an impassioned speech, and meanwhile Orlando Bloom is just kind of like pulling blue steel faces in the background. It's amazing.
They're taking the Muppets to Isengard. Let's reawaken that meme with a new flavour.
It's the best meme. Yes.
Where are you going to go with?
Last one.
Mine would be D2, the Mighty Ducks, retaining Emilio Estevez as Coach Gordon Bombay, coaching a ragtag team of Muppets to the Junior Goodwill Games Gold. And I think it would be amazing because he has to, deal with the antagonist, the Team Iceland coach, who would obviously be an angry Muppet, and he would have a love interest as well. So Emilio Estevez would have to get romantically involved with a female Muppet.
I thought you were going to say like Alien. And you would keep that guy that I really like who died, that was in Titanic.
Wait, who was in Titanic?
He's like the guy that he's in a really nice jumper. What's his name? I put a picture up when he died because I was so sad.
An alien.
You're talking about Bill Paxton.
I am talking about Bill Paxton!
That was Aliens.
I almost said Aliens and I stopped myself.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say Aliens.
Aliens will keep in Bill Paxton.
That would be great. That would be great.
He's just freaked out because everyone's a
I wanted to
Muppet.
say that. I went with Die Hard because I thought that you were going to say that.
There you go.
There we go. We got it anyway.
I was going to zig and I zagged.
I had it in my head that Titanic would be a good one. You keep Billy Zane because then it's just he hates everyone in that film and he can hate them because they're Muppets, and then you just get like Muppets splashing around everywhere. This is ship thing. Be a good one. That's a couple of bonus ones.
That was a great
It was a great one. Clip number 2.
This is Tom Edmonds, writer and director of Dead in a Week or Your Money Back, and you are listening to the 100th episode of Kneel Before Blog. Craig, so many congratulations on nerding out for 100 episodes. That is a fantastic achievement, not least for actually continuing to watch the output from the DC universe. Whilst many will want to know whether the Martha coincidence in Batman vs Superman is the stupidest conflict resolution in all of cinema, what I would like to know, the question I'd like to ask you for your 100th episode, is what you would do as a group if a zombie apocalypse were to break out right now. Personally, I would grab my Canon 5D, my old cricket bat, and I would call my producers to let them know that I'd found a way to shoot the zombie horror comedy I'm developing on the cheap.
Assuming his producers hadn't become zombies.
Spoken like a true filmmaker.
Yeah, Tom Edmonds, he's a great guy. He directs a film that's not out yet, but it's amazing. I did an interview with him, so listen.
Mm-hmm.
And I can concur that this film is very good.
Dead in a Week or Your Money Back. It's a film about an assassin close to retirement who only kills people who want to die.
Oh, that's
and it's very darkly funny.
Alright, you convinced me.
Yeah, it'll be out hopefully at some point.
Alright.
Well, go first again.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's as a group thing. So I think the first thing we need to do is...
Run a bath. Sorry. I know that sounds really like...
No, because you need to have
water. You need to have water. You need to...
This is true. That's a good one.
I was just thinking there's no time to actually dally in this. You'd need to run a bath.
I was going to say we should get some weapons.
Everything can be a weapon.
Yeah, but anything around here that we could turn into a weapon?
A lot of mic stands.
Mic stands, lots of mic stands tonight. So
I can imagine you getting really upset if the zombie apocalypse happened right now, and if something came through your door, because I'm closest to this like Harlequin statue, and I feel like I'd use it to smash someone's brains in.
That's fair enough. I think if we all lived, it'd be okay.
Oh, that's really.
I've always thought I would be one of the zombie, like one of the people who dies before the zombie outbreak happened. Like, you know, it's like you're not sure, and it's like there's some slight little changes, and there's like people sort of slugging around.
Yeah.
I've always assumed in a zombie movie I'd be one of those ones.
So our first clue would be when Isaac dies.
Yeah, when I'm just slamming about in the kitchen, perhaps just smashing everything around.
How would we know if we were?
Isaac's just making dinner again. It's fine. He already had his dinner.
where the dinner is your brains.
Yeah. He already had his dinner earlier on. It's like, yeah, but he gets ice cream and stuff. It's fine.
my thought's always been that you could stockpile Britannia and then tug Britannia out to the middle of the Forth, and then you'd be safe. It'd be like a base, and it's kind of luxurious as well.
World War Z style, as in the book, not the film.
Yeah, so sort of pull the boat out to sea. Because we're in Edinburgh and Britannia's nearby.
So how are we going to get there?
Well, get down to Leaf.
Past a horde of zombies.
A horde of zombie leafers.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
It's
kind of the same way you normally get down to.
We'd have to hope.
Wait, who's going to make the cheap joke?
If Lothian buses could stay running during the Beast from the East, I think they could stay running during a zombie apocalypse. So we could probably just get a bus and be alright.
They would just sort of adapt the buses, wouldn't they? They'd just put sort of rams on the front and everything like that.
Yeah, and the tracker's still working. It's 3 minutes away and there's a horde of zombies.
I want everyone to know though, like I have apocalypse dreams quite a lot, and in it I've always had to like, when I wake up I have to say to my fam, this is where we'd meet, because if it happens and we've got no comms, we need to know that there's a place that we will hang out. And it used to be top of Arthur's Seat, and then I was like, it's so impractical. Now it's Orkney. I always say, if anything happens apocalypse wise or zombies, get to Orkney. Don't know why that's like
Arthur's Seat was impractical. How are you getting to Orkney?
Swimming.
Could take a while.
Could build a raft. It's not that far.
Well, why don't you hitch a ride with us on Britannia to Orkney?
That's it.
Let's do it.
Or we'll just,
Or add in, like some sort of island where that's easily defensible.
It does have a distillery, which is in its favour.
Indeed.
So does Orkney.
There we go, we're sorted.
Plenty of whiskey. Perhaps defence from the undead.
Well, we use half for drink and half we could weaponise.
Yep. This is true. Molotov cocktails and stuff.
You got to take your bath on the bus.
Yeah.
You have to get the bath with you.
Yeah.
I don't know how we'd do that.
2-man team dedicated to that. Somebody
Clean film over it.
Use the pot noodle pots and the Five Guys cups for wheels. Just roll it.
Or instead of the buses, we could commandeer one of the trams.
Or just any car.
And then fix a snowplow on the front of it. Yeah, and
where are you getting the snowplow from?
I have no idea. We can figure that out later.
They've got ploughs for in the winter for the trams.
Where?
Well, the depot.
But we do have.
We have to get to the depot now.
Now we've got to get to the Gyle. Yeah.
But I'm not doing this.
It's a very involved plan.
It is.
Well, okay.
I wonder if there is genuinely a plan for the zombie apocalypse. Does anyone else ever think that?
There must be.
If there's someone with a document somewhere that says what actually happens in a zombie apocalypse.
I'm sure there is.
There has to be.
There must be.
I mean, they have plans for like when we meet aliens, so yeah.
Zombies exist.
She's just gonna leave that hanging in the air. Do expand.
Talking about Haitian voodoo or something?
I'm just saying that, like, people have come back from the dead.
That doesn't make them zombies, though.
And they've eaten people's brains.
And exhibited other zombie-like traits.
That kind of makes them... Yeah.
Ergo zombies.
So it turns out we're all splitting. Some of us are going to Orkney, some of us are going to the tram depot, and
Guys,
the others will be at Britannia.
Why can't we just stay together as a group? The whole point is that you stay together as a group.
Well, we're already together, so, Yeah.
I don't think we'd make it. Who do you think would be the first person to die other than Isaac, because he's already dead?
Probably me. I think it would be me.
Yeah, I don't think I'd make it very long. I think I'd make a good run for it, but then like die spectacularly, like being bitten, like in the middle of the street as we're running to the depot.
I would trip over the uneven paving stones and then be caught and killed. Thank you, Edinburgh Council. Aaron, I don't think we've heard from you on this one.
See, I think I'd be screwed because I haven't seen any zombie movies, so I just have no experience of this.
Ever?
No.
Not Shaun of the Dead?
Oh, I've seen that.
Well, that's a zombie movie.
Does that really
That's
count?
quintessential.
That is a zombie movie.
It's all kind of nice and fluffy, though, isn't it? It's not like a proper
quite brutal,
70s.
It's a comedy, but it's quite brutal.
It's
yeah.
fairly brutal.
Yeah.
I wonder how long it take us to notice, because there's a great bit in Shaun of the Dead where he just goes to the shop and chucks money on the counter and just leaves, and he doesn't notice, because it's just everybody's half asleep where he comes from.
Society.
Yeah.
We're already there, man. We're all
well, I've always thought that zombie apocalypse would probably occur during when I'm undertaking like a 3-day film marathon. And so wouldn't even notice until after the entire country has already collapsed.
You just walk out of the film house.
What happened?
The rumors and devastated fires everywhere. Yeah. Oh, good.
It's like, wait, am I still watching a film? Have I fallen asleep? And this
Would you still
recording
review
this.
it? Or
Probably would, actually.
Until the laptop battery runs out. Yeah. The last review.
It's like, this has to be my legacy.
The final review.
I'm actually so scared of the apocalypse happening that I bought a pair of glasses because I was aware that I'd stopped being able to get daily disposable contacts, and I was like,
That's
I need
kind
to
of
be
stuff
able to
you need.
see when the apocalypse happens. I
That's
just don't know where I put them.
That's a good point. As the asthmatic, I may be taken out quite early, so...
I'm also asthmatic.
Oh, well, there we go. We can share a puffer.
Yeah. So now we have to raid a pharmacy. I think I'll just die. This is too complicated. There's too much to do.
That's the plan.
I'll just die. It's fine.
I think we have managed to reduce the group down pretty quickly to just Angus, Natalie, and Andrew.
But Andrew's at the cinema apparently.
All right, so it's actually just the two of you then.
Heading to Orkney.
And I've got
We'll
a
just
wee
ride
fur
our
cat,
giraffes
so
off into the sunset.
Brilliant.
do it. All right,
Okay,
let's go.
ready for the next clip?
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hi guys, this is James Lundy of Edinburgh Comic Con, co-presenter of Here Talk Rebirth and comic book writer of Wired. Also playboy, philanthropist and all-round good guy. According to my mum. Anyway, I just want to take this opportunity to congratulate the guys at Kneel Before Pod
Oh, he's
on
like,
their
listen to
100th
us.
episode. Great show, guys. Thanks for having me on in the past. For the life of me, I can't remember what I just had for breakfast a couple of years ago, so didn't ask me what we taught up. San Diego Comic Con was the last time, and it was something else before.
Defenders.
I'm sure I was very entertaining that you wouldn't ask me back. Anyway, right, scenario is basically I have to give you, or I have to choose one particular superhero who that I would choose to be, and it's tough to accept their backstory. Now, unfortunately, because I've read comics since I was about 8-year-old and I'm now about 43, there's a hell of a lot there to choose from. Some things are no better than others, but I'll be honest with you, there's one of two, there's two guys who I would probably choose. One of them probably would be something like Blue Beetle, because right now I would probably be able to cosplay the middle-aged Blue Beetle. You know, with that middle-aged spread quite easily, not a problem. But anyway, I'm going to choose Michael John Carter, aka Booster Gold, because like him, I was a college quarterback. not seriously, I wasn't. But he was a college quarterback. Failed, ended up working in what do you call it, a museum, stole the time sphere and everything. What have you? Basically, he's doing his luck, and he went back in time, wanted to become a superhero, try and do some good things, but at the same time get some fame and make some money whilst doing it. So he's very much a flawed individual, but as things progressed for him, you could actually see him wanting to become a better person, until eventually, we become the greatest hero that you never heard of. He almost becomes selfless, as it were. So that's probably me. He also never really had any superpowers as such. Everything was, because of his suit. You know, it was all weaved in, you know, in the Legion flight thing and what have you. So it gives them more like a sense of humanity. I suppose I could go Superman, but to me Superman's more of God on Earth. You know, the way I envision him. So I'll go for the human guy. They definitely going for Mr. Gold. So there you go. Craig, again, absolute pleasure to be on your podcast, and hopefully you'll have me back on again sometime in the future. Cheers, mate. Bye.
Right, so which superhero do you want to be?
But you also have to keep their backstory.
Oh, you have to keep their backstory.
Yeah. So for me, I would just be Batman and then stop being Batman and move away.
Take the money and run away.
That's it. I would just be a billionaire who has nothing to do with Gotham anymore.
Right, so do you
Screw
have to,
those guys.
Does that mean that would you be Bruce Wayne, or are you just taking the backstory? And are you still Craig?
Yeah,
but you're
I'm
just
still
having
Craig,
the
but
backstory
Bruce
out?
Wayne's backstory.
I'm glad that you went first because I wasn't quite sure what the question was.
Yeah.
But it is really nice to hear a Scottish accent.
James is great. He runs Edinburgh Comic Con and lets me participate in a panel every single year.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's something that he
so
does.
what is the question?
So you could be any superhero, but you have to keep their backstory.
But I am the superhero though.
You are the super. Yeah, so you would be, in my case, Batman. But
You've got dead parents.
I've got parents murdered horribly.
Yeah.
But then I'm just like, why am I Batman? This sucks. Like, I'm just going out every night and doing nothing. So quit being Batman, move to somewhere that's not Gotham, and then live out the rest of my life in absolute luxury.
I would be She-Ra, Princess of Power. Because
what's her backstory?
Even though He-Man, her twin brother, got to live with his parents his whole life and grew up, he's a bit square, whereas she was kidnapped as a child by Hordak and brought up as a member of the Horde. And I'm thinking she's got some street smarts from there, but then eventually comes back to her family, her mum and her dad still alive, so not like Batman. So you get that kind of bit of darkness, and she's got a better.
And not being constrained by gender. Good thing.
Exactly.
It's the thing, and also you have your own pet unicorn.
Yeah, exactly. Pet unicorn, great theme tune. What more could I want?
That's amazing.
Oh, I'm gonna go a slightly similar one. I'm taking Doreen Green Squirrel Girls. So hers is she was born with the powers of a squirrel and a girl. You're unbeatable, and you have like a small squirrel companion called Tippy Toes. And it's always just I don't know if you've read any of them, but they're really lovely. It's all just about I don't know.
So drama-free backstory.
Yeah, drama-free backstory, and I just get to be wicked strong, and now I'm quite good at computer science.
And you can defeat anyone.
I can defeat anyone.
Cool.
I think he's just won this game.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone else?
I think I'll just be boring and just say my favorite superhero because I always pick him for everything. And that's Thor. I would be Thor. I would be Princess of Asgard and then later Queen of Asgard. Lose an eye, I guess, in the process, but then also
in the comics you get to keep your eye.
See. And
You get to die a number of times.
He gets a tech eye, so it's fine. He has 2 eyes now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd be Thor.
Yeah, okay. Well, for me, as much as I find the character himself really boring, I would actually go for being Cyborg. Just because having the ability to intuitively interface with technology would make pretty much every single aspect of modern life very straightforward to navigate.
And then you only have to deal with an accident as well as your kind of backstory.
Oh yeah.
But there'll be so many adverts.
Certainly help him get exposed to all that erotica that he keeps talking about. Oh my god, I'm inside the internet. Get me out of here.
Or maybe not.
I would
get
never
me out
leave.
of there. Yeah.
Never leave.
How about you, Chris?
I've got no idea. I think I would kind of like the non-tragic backstory, but I'm trying to think of any superhero that's not really got a terrible backstory to them. Something awful. I'd end up getting my powers through some sort of ridiculous accident where I fall into a vat of liquid. The
Joker,
something
then.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Let's go with that. I got no idea. I would blunder my way into superpowers, I imagine.
So, the only character I can think of where that kind of happens based on that specific description is the Joker.
All right, well, there we
I
go.
was thinking Miss Marvel.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a big. She's just out partying and she gets hit by a cloud.
So, okay.
This is a really tough question. I'm really
I know,
thinking
it's
of
good,
it.
isn't it?
I think I've got a few answers.
Fire away.
One of them is Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Yeah,
She
that's a
counts.
good one.
Right? She totally could be.
The sitcom version.
The TV show.
Yeah.
Or Bewitched. Because I do like that. But then I also thought
She
Alex
really a
Mack.
superhero?
Because Alex Mack is not really... Well, she's... Alex Mack? Does everyone remember Alex Mack?
Yeah.
Alex Mack. She always wears a hat. That's not in the tune, but that's the line. I thought about her. And then I also thought about Black Panther. Because I've got cultural dysmorphia. And I think that I'd be really good as Black Panther.
I think you mean dysphoria.
No, I made it up myself. Cultural dysmorphia.
Fair.
Yeah. Aaron, do you have one?
I don't have a good comedy one, but I'll pick one anyway. I quite like the human superheroes. They don't have powers, so you've got your Batman. So I'll pick Iron Man, because I think maybe it's just kind of a midlife crisis that I might be going through. I do like the idea of someone who comes across purpose in life and then dedicates themselves completely to it. And I do quite like the idea of being a total genius, which I know I am clearly not.
I'm an alcoholic.
Alcoholic is the backstory you have to accept. That's fine.
Yeah.
You've got to have
But
some
when you're a
payoff.
billionaire-
But he got over that, so, you know.
No.
Does he then become, though, like, a superhero with powers because he then has to, like, keep himself alive because he has all the things that...
Oh, the
his
heart. But I suppose if you're keeping yourself alive
'Cause
with a
he's
heart,
like-
it's basically
he's
what
like-
I'm doing now.
Half man, half machine. What does it mean?
But, yeah, that's kind of... It's along the same lines of anyone who has any technology that keeps them alive.
Yeah, it's a pacemaker, but it
Yeah.
glows.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. Plus, you'd be a billionaire.
Well, you wouldn't turn it down.
The money is a nice side
It
effect.
really is. That's why me as Batman, I'm like, screw all you guys. I'm not going
I
to save
have
anyone
money.
ever again. Just going to go and
That's
enjoy
why I
my
like the idea
billions.
of magic because, like, legit, it doesn't matter how much money you've got. You just make.
Well, there's rules you have to follow as a magic user, though.
Yeah, but.
I mean, imagine if you were Sabrina, you would have to go through get your witch's license and all that stuff.
I always think about this one episode where she is trying to make things like better for her and her friends, and she like makes a dress that one of her friends wants 40% off, and then goes home and half of her jumper is missing. And then she like wishes that she had roller blades and gets roller blads, and I apply
Yeah.
that to my life all the time.
Every episode of Sabrina was basically, she tries to do something with magic and it goes wrong.
Yeah, that'd be me.
Cool, that was some good answers there. All good answers. Next clip.
Hey, how you doing? This is Jeff Teravainen, and I wanted to give a special congratulations for 100 episodes of Neil Before Blog. I was lucky enough to be on one of them a couple years ago, talking about dark matter and different things like that. And I always remember I was traveling between two things, and suddenly the time came up, so I pulled off into this beautiful park we have in Toronto called High Park, and did the interview there with my daughter in the back seat. And she was exceptionally well behaved for a 6-year-old. I think, 6 years old. I was asked, one of the things I would say here was, what would I give advice to my 18-year-old self? I thought about that a couple times. I just finished a movie, and it's funny, after all the work that I have done over the years, I'm only realizing now how important it is to relax and enjoy it. So much of the stuff I've done, I've taken it too seriously because I frankly understand how hard it is to get work. It's such a competitive industry, and it is frightful at times. The pressure, auditioning can be really scary because, you don't know what you're dealing with and you're taking a stab at it. And in some cases, for some people, this is their only source of income and that sort of thing. So it can be pretty daunting. And I wish I had spent the bulk of my career just lapping it in, really enjoying myself, taking all the good moments and really living them. And unfortunately, I over-prepared. I would, be in my trailer beforehand running lines, even though I knew them. Things like that. Whereas the last few movies and shows I've done, I've really learned to relax and enjoy it. And that's what it's all about. Because you know what? There's probably easier ways to make a living. The reason that you're in this in the first place is because you love it. So yeah, I would say to my 18-year-old self or any self, don't forget why you're doing it and enjoy it, because someday it might not be there, and you want to be able to hold on to those memories and experiences, because there's nothing quite like doing what you love to do for a living. Thank you.
Aww. What a guy.
That's
He
really
seems
nice.
really nice.
That's
I'm
just
loving
good
all
advice.
these things.
Yeah.
I'm loving all these little stories.
Yeah. I would tell my 18-year-old self to start a podcast because they weren't popular at that point.
Smart.
Didn't have any friends though.
No. I would give myself a note on Bitcoin.
Invest in.
Or on a more serious thing, don't judge your success by others.
I do have a serious answer to that question, but I'll come back to it.
Yes, well, I would make sure that my 18-year-old self understands that the first draft of anything that you write will always be crap. So just don't overthink what you're putting down. Just like get something out and then fix it later.
On a similar note, I would tell myself, learn how to edit. Because, like, my trouble in life is I hate my first drafts and then just, like, kind of stop and panic and, just, like, learn how to draft and redraft. I feel like I don't know how to do that, and I wish I did. I mean, I'm still learning. There's still time. Still happening. But if I could do that at 18, I could have written 5 books by now. So, yeah.
I don't know. I'd say, like he said, just go and have fun with it. Because, you can't really change too much, because then, I don't know if any of your, if you whatever you're writing is, you couldn't say to yourself, oh, go and do this sooner, because if the stuff you're writing now might be based on stuff that you've experienced anyway, and you might not have that afterwards.
No, I'm not saying story-wise, I'm just saying,
just
develop skills, or, try to learn certain skills sooner. You know, like that sort of thing.
See, the trouble with a question like that is, it presupposes you've opened some kind of time window, and you get to have a short conversation with your 18-year-old self, and you can impart one piece of wisdom. But the thing is, if you give them the Bitcoin one, then you're in a situation where perhaps Chris is now a billionaire or multimillionaire, but he doesn't know any of us. Or his life experience is not.
I think he took that into account when he was choosing Bitcoin.
It's us, right? Yeah.
That is why I was investing in Bitcoin.
Yeah. So, I don't know, changing your life too much, I guess. I think, appreciate the experiences you have, or will have. I'm not going to tell you what they are, but appreciate them, because some of them are better than you think they are.
I used to I was thinking about this and I was like, I don't know what to say to my 18-year-old self, but I sometimes wish that when I was in high school that I'd not been so serious. I really couldn't take a joke, and I'm like, oh, if I'd had humour, how much more fun would high school have been? So that's younger than 18 though. But I do think about that.
Well, you could still be at high school at 18.
No, I wasn't.
Depends when your birthday is. I wasn't. Yeah.
But that's I don't know, that's a really, it's tricky, because you're like, well, it could have changed anything, and what you've learned, and is there a happier question? Can we get a happier question?
Not quite yet, we have 2 more to hear from.
Mine's quite short, it would just be drink less beer.
Oh.
Why not drink more beer?
Oh no. I don't know if I could have achieved it.
Aaron? Last one.
I can't end on a high note. I don't have the comedy answers that I feel like we need.
That's okay. It's not. We know it's not going to be comedy.
No. I think I would just say worry less.
Along the same lines as Jeff.
Maybe.
Yeah, worry less.
Jeff does have a good beat on things, I guess.
Worry less.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff.
Next.
Worry less.
Is there a next? Yeah, there's a couple more.
Hi, this is Joseph Malazzi, writer and executive producer of Stargate SG-1, Stargate Atlantis, Stargate Universe, Dark Matter, and a couple of other shows headed your way. Here to wish Neil Before Blog congratulations on their 100th podcast. As someone who's produced over 400 hours of television, I can honestly say that the first 100 is always the toughest. So you got that under your belt. Congratulations. The rest is easy. Again, congrats. Thanks for having me on the show a while back. Hope to chat with you guys again. In the meantime, I leave you with this. You can live in any movie or TV universe. Which would you choose and why? For instance, I would choose the Guardians of the Galaxy universe and be part of the crew. I wouldn't probably go on any missions because that would be too dangerous. I'd probably be the guy who stays back at the ship and would kind of move it in case there were any parking violations or anything, but still sort of get a cut of the loot or whatever the rest of the gang brings in. So that's my answer. I want to know yours. Again, congratulations. Talk to you soon.
Aww, that's quite cute. I like this one.
Yeah, Malotzi was Aaron's interview. It's funny because when I interviewed Jeff, he was like, "Nah, I don't want to interview people." And then I was like, I managed to get an interview with Joe Malotzi, and he was like, "I'll do that." He just took the right guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think I know Craig's answer.
I'm going to tell you, and then you can tell me if you
Preempted.
G-Force.
The G-Force/fiction universe.
Oh, how did you know? How did you?
I just know you, Craig.
No, I would live in the Star Trek universe.
Of course.
But I wouldn't actually join Starfleet. It seems like hard work. It also repeatedly in danger from various things. So like stay away from that Enterprise. I would just live on some planet in the Federation and just not want for anything. Just if whatever I want comes out the replicator, I've got a big house. Hope the Borg don't attack my planet. It'd be great.
I was trying to decide between the Gummy Bears universe and
that would be cool.
The DuckTales universe. But today in my research, I found that they are actually a shared universe.
Oh my god!
Because there's an episode of the new DuckTales which up until today I did not endorse. But there's an episode of the new DuckTales that references the original Gummy Bears. So I would take those because I would want the adventuring and treasure and loot of DuckTales and the gummy berry juice of Gummy Bears.
That's a really good one. Not G-Force.
No, not G-Force.
Isaac?
I don't know. Okay, come back to me.
Come back. Okay. Andrew?
I would probably live in the universe of Killjoys, which is like a relatively recent sci-fi TV series. Purely because pretty much every single character in it is either traveling in spaceships, having exciting adventures on various planets, or sitting in a bar getting constantly hammered, or seeming to be effortlessly attractive to gorgeous people.
Sounds like a cool universe.
Okay. I'm just Googling this. I haven't really heard of the show. Interesting.
It's on Netflix,
That sounds
I think.
cool.
At least some of it is. I think.
Nice.
I think it is, yeah.
Speaking of sci-fi Netflix shows, or at least over here on Netflix, predictably perhaps I would choose to be part of the Expanse universe, because it's awesome, and I would love to be perhaps I would probably be an Earther, and I would probably be like in the Navy, so perhaps like on one of those spaceships, sort of in amongst the space rubble and stuff and things, and whatever they get up to, I don't know. But that would be fun. It's a side of that world that we don't really get to see much, because we're mostly embroiled in like the front lines of the conflict, but I'd be in the fringes, somewhere in the background. You know, I don't think that I'd be one of the protagonists, but I'd be in there somewhere.
Like me in the Star Trek universe, just out of the way, enjoying life.
Exactly, yeah. So, like, you know, somewhere in space, on a UNN spaceship, is Space Cat. Yes, that would be nice.
Cool.
I think I would be in the Looney Tunes universe.
So would you be a cartoon?
I would be a cartoon me, and all the hilarity would be going on around me, and I'm then immortal because you can be sort of blown up and you'll be back in the next scene. So it's, you know, you're immortal and money means nothing, and it's all bright and colourful.
That's a good.
It's like my natural home, obviously.
Yeah. Aaron.
So, I think about this for a long time because most of the stuff that I like is usually a bit horrid, dark, and nasty. Whereas I like to watch this stuff, I suddenly realise I don't want to be in any of these places because they're all just too horrible. So I've also gone back to my childhood, and I'm going to pick Dog Tanyan.
Yes.
Because I still want to get some of that more serious stuff in there, like they had real trouble. There was like some political stuff going on, evil cardinal, all that in the background. So they still had to deal with honour and actually face some of the problems of life. But quite frankly, of course, it's dogs in a cartoon. It was never going to go truly badly. So I get my happy ending, and it's all a bit still funny and comic still.
And Muskie Hounds are always ready.
Exactly. One for all.
Isaac?
Oh, I'm going to go to the Wes Anderson universe.
The Wes Anderson.
Everything's like beautiful and symmetrical and colourful, and at worst, there's some slight hijinks, but it's all kind of witty and nice. And it's not super threatening.
Great answers.
That is a great answer.
Great answers.
Yeah. I'm really annoyed I didn't think of that.
So, Chris, have we got more clips?
We do. We will
I didn't get to see mine.
This one.
Kneel before blog, eh? Well, anyone coming up with such a great name for their blog of podcasts and sci-fi and comic book character program reviews deserves to be knelt before and praised. But I'm sure Superman won't see it that way. Another reason to praise this website is the outstanding quality of everything they do. Always fair and always interesting to read and hear, whether I agree with them or not.
Well, not much.
An absolute must to put in your favourites.
Oh, he's sweet.
So, many congratulations to Craig and his team on their 100th podcast from me.
That's us. We're the same bit.
Yay! I hear you ask, who are you? Well, I'm just an ageing hippie who goes barefoot most of the time. I've been married for 36 years with 2 grown-up children and a charismatic budgie called Alfie, who's the real star of my Twitter feed. I reckon many of my Twitter followers are with me just for Alfie's exploits. I'm a writer by trade. I've got 4 novels and a collection of short stories out. And I'm also a PR writer and magazine columnist. I really don't know how Craig and his team find the time to pull everything together, but somehow they do, keeping us, the audience, royally entertained on a regular basis. Now then, Craig's asked me to set a little scenario for you all to discuss, so here it comes. You decide to pursue a dream and buy an ice cream van. What is your jingle? For me, as I'm of a certain age, which means I've seen every single episode of Doctor Who, from the very first one in 1963 when I was 7, and not missed one since, it's a complete no-brainer. My jingle would be the TARDIS dematerialisation sound. Oh, just think of it, that wonderful sound played on a loop, over and over and over and over and over.
And not over.
And then he stops.
And out.
I'm going to go first this time. Mine will be, let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. And grass! You have to keep on around.
Draining pool.
So that was the musical episode, everyone. We did it!
We did it!
Cool. That's a good one. I would go for the Imperial March, because why not? Maybe in a major key. Because, I still want kids to come and buy ice cream. But yeah, I just want it to be, that's vaguely scary.
I wonder if that exists. I wonder if anybody has done, like, the Imperial March on a major key.
Or as a jingle. Probably. We will go to YouTube and find out later on.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't have as so much as a jingle, but I would use a recording of that song from Hocus Pocus that Jessica.
Little children, I'll take thee away.
That one. Because if you're operating an ice cream van, then obviously you want children to gravitate towards you. Yes, and if you're using a bit of magic to help you, then that'll only maximise your profits.
Well, no, because you'd have no repeat customers.
Kind of child catchery vibe, but
I was actually thinking of the child catcher.
He didn't say what the dream was. It just required an ice cream van.
That's true.
Yeah, because he doesn't have a jingle. He just goes out and says, "Children,
I have ice cream."
children.
God, that's dark.
Maybe that would be mine.
I find ice cream vans creepy. And the jingles, yeah. So we don't have ice cream vans in Greece. So I
That's
find
why
them.
she left.
Wait, is that where you're from?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know.
I find that very weird. You know, it's just like we have one that comes by my neighborhood in London, and it's just like, why is this strange man with an ice cream van like just driving through my neighborhood playing weird like creepy children's music? I don't like it. So I don't know that I would buy an ice cream van or have a jingle. So I'm the humbug of this conversation. I'm really sorry.
I love ice creams. Oh my god! So I used to love going to the ice cream van. We just call it icy. And I remember one time I heard one at his mum and dad's house, and they live on the top of like this hill in this really tiny little village. And I was like, oh my god, there's an ice cream van, and I got so excited because I was like, I can't believe that they have ice cream vans here. They need to exist more. Who doesn't want people driving around to bring you things?
But they don't wait long enough. Like you have to be literally at the door.
You've got to come running out of your house.
That's part of the fun.
So running down the
Like
street,
running down
to get
the
to like the next stop, and you're like, I know where
Chasing
they stop.
after them.
I'm gonna get them, and they can see me, and they're gonna wait because they want your money.
So what would your jingle be?
What would your jingle be?
Yeah.
Because come
I
on,
don't
you have.
know.
You can't
to
abstain.
go with
You
it.
need to have a jingle.
I don't know. I don't know.
We can come back.
Yeah.
What would your jingle be, Natalie?
The police.
Wow. Edit points. It's an angle.
I'd just go for Ice Ice Baby because really gotta go that.
Brilliant.
But maybe change it to Ice Cream Baby. I kind of get the thing about ice cream vans. The bit that creeps me out is the slightly off Disney characters.
Yeah. The bad images.
Yeah, it's like there must be.
Don't look right.
Yeah,
legally distinct.
It's like it's someone's job to make just slightly off Disney characters that just look a bit creepy.
Mickey Mouse.
How about two of the lesser dwarves?
Yeah.
And
My childhood AC, we used to joke was a pedo because we'd heard like through
My
the grapevine
point
that he was a
exactly.
pedo. And it turns out he was.
My point
And-
exactly.
And then like somebody, because I also lived in a sort of villagey bit too, a bigger village, and then I think he got shot or stabbed.
Didn't have Hocus Pocus music coming out of his van.
No, I don't remember what it was. Like, I know if I heard it, I'd be like, oh my god, it's that AC. But like, I can't tell you like off the top of my head what it is. It might be like something classical.
Angus, what would you have?
I would have the music from the title screen of Street Fighter 2: The World Warrior. And I would have the menu
The bit that's
for
like,
the ice creams. No.
Oh, I'm thinking of something else.
I just have like 8 selections that you can make.
Brilliant.
How does it go?
I can't sing it for you,
You
but
have to, just
we can
try.
put a link to a nice YouTube video of it in the show notes.
Just go like 8-bit, come on.
8-bit.
Trying, I can't do it.
Before we go back to Kat, Aaron, what would you have?
So, I would like it to still be a bit nicer than some of these horrible things that you've got playing on yours. I think when I actually get to the final tune, I do want it to be nice and upbeat and still okay for the kids to listen to. But I would like to add more to the game about trying to get to the thing before it goes away. So you need a bit of suspense to build you up. So you're not quite sure where it is, and therefore I would pick the theme tune to Inspector Gadget. As you just hear over the horizon, dum-da-dum-da-dum, and then that's it for a bit. You know, is it there? And then it comes back again.
Brilliant.
Dum-da-dum-da-dum from the next street. And then eventually when you do find it, Inspector Gadget.
Oh, that's amazing.
Okay.
That's a great answer.
I vote that one. Wait, are we voting? Okay. I'm voting that one.
No. They're going into business together as ice cream people. So, Kat, you have to choose something.
Oh, I don't know.
It's just a jingle.
I'd
actually, I know what we could have. It's like, since you think like something like we creepy about ice cream vans, then I think you could have like the theme tune from the Magic Roundabout. Because I always thought like if you listen to that over and over and over again, it starts to sound really, really sinister.
I think that
because it's like basically it's like the sound of insanity.
Well, given that a lot of ice cream vans in the worst places do actually carry drugs, that actually makes a lot of disturbing sense.
We could have the Jaws theme.
No, that's great.
So, Kat, do you have one?
I don't know. I would. I don't, because I wouldn't have one, as I said.
Well, in this scenario, you do, for whatever reason.
Fine. It's,
Maybe you're trying to make them better for people.
Drive It Like You Stole It from Sing Street would be playing through the streets, because I probably would have stolen the ice cream van from some weirdo.
I love it.
So, there.
I love all of these answers. Next clip. Last one? Last one.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Victor Cook. Some of you know my work from The Spectacular Spider-Man and Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. I have a new show on Netflix called Stretch Armstrong and the Flex Fighters, with 10 episodes, Season 2, premiering this fall.
Is it on UK Netflix?
Also, I'm currently working on a brand new show for Disney Junior called Tots, and it'll be on TV sometime in 2019. I'm also here to congratulate Neil Before Blog on reaching their 100th episode. And I just wanted to say it was a blast being interviewed by them, and I had a fun time talking about all the animated shows I've worked on over the years. Okay, I need to set up this scenario for you. You are kidnapped, and the cast of the last TV show you watched has to save you. Yes. What is it, and what do they do? Okay, it was great talking to you, and I hope to again soon. Bye.
Victor Cook, great guy.
Did he say what he wanted?
Oh,
no, he didn't. No,
he didn't give us an answer. No, Victor, no.
Well,
also,
9-9.
That's all I'm saying.
9-9. Hey, at least they're actually good investigators.
Yeah, they are.
They're good at their jobs.
They would just use police work.
And one of the last episodes I watched, he was tied up in an ice cream van.
Oh, synergy! It's amazing.
Anyway,
cool.
that's Who's Gonna Rescue Me. Is that Who's Gonna Rescue You?
No, I think mine would be Better Call Saul.
Oh, you're fucked.
I didn't know if it meant the cast as in the actors or the characters. So, well, hopefully then all the cartel guys from that would come in all guns blazing.
Unless you're in a rival cartel and they just don't kill you.
Yep.
So you might not get saved.
I think I'm definitely getting saved, so sorry about it.
For me, it would be Dollhouse. That was the last TV show I watched. And it's going to be really easy because they can just imprint any personality that's really good at rescuing hostages onto one of their, let's just say, enslaved people. And I'd be fine. And then it'd be like, yeah, but this person that this person that saved you is a slave who has no choice in what they're doing. I'm like, yeah, but I'm fine. I'm okay. I can go home. So that's great. Thanks for that, Dollhouse. I don't know if I could afford the Dollhouse, though. I'd probably just die.
I don't know what that is, but maybe I'll watch it. What about you?
My saviors would be the Scout Corps from Attack on Titan, the anime. So actually, I mean, they do regularly save like their comrades who have been kidnapped. So I guess I'd be fine. And also, like, there's no Titans here, so I don't know why they would have like the 3D maneuver gear and just like zip from one building to the other. With like katana swords, but I'm not questioning it. They probably would save me, so thanks, guys.
Good one. Chris?
I watched Saturday Kitchen before coming out today. I'm not sure quite what they're going to do to save me, but I'm sure it'll be delicious.
Who was on it?
I can't remember. I put it on and I was like, as I was getting stuff ready to come into town today, I was like, oh, Saturday Kitchen's on. So now I'm being rescued by Saturday Kitchen.
Oh, jeez.
I should have watched something better. Why did I not watch Thunderbirds or something? Right, that would have been way better.
That's brilliant. Saturday Kitchen, delicious rescue.
Who's rescuing you?
Oh, well, actually, because we have, like, BBC One on at work, like, on mute in the background, so Antiques Roadshow is what was on the phone. So, like, I'd be well dead, but I'd be dead, and they'd be like, oh, this chair's beautiful.
It's fused with his body.
Pry your dead body off it.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, this is dead skeleton over it. It's like, I think it's Baroque. We'll give you 100, and like, the kidnappers might get some money. So you can sell this. It'll be like £75.
Well, today I'm rescuing him with this antique musket. You can see it's got lovely ivory and...
Oh, these answers are so good.
Yes, mine would be apologies for the unintentional repetition, but mine would also
be Saturday Kitchen.
No, repetition from one of my previous answers, because this one would also be Killjoys. So basically, come to rescue me. I have a badass trio of interplanetary bounty hunters.
Alright, that's a pretty good...
That's alright, they're equipped.
Yeah, you're safe.
So I think I'm pretty much sorted.
You're safe.
I was going to say, who's going to rescue Aaron?
Well, I wanted it to be Cloak and Dagger, because that's what I've been watching. Unfortunately, like Chris, just before coming out, I sat down with...
And you knew what those questions were as well.
with my partner and her mother, and we all watched an episode of Dynasty together. So I am unfortunately going to be rescued by the very manly Dexter, who it turns out does rescue quite a lot of the characters in the completely fictional fantasy show Dynasty.
You'd probably be okay then.
Yeah. Oh, I'd be alright.
Well, actually, are we all going to be rescued by the instructor for laser tag? He's like, there's no swearing and no running. So yeah.
I'm just glad it's not the HQ trivia presenters. Because that would be tragic.
What's HQ?
It's a quiz app, and the presenters are...
I think Scott could do it.
I don't know.
I think he could do it. I think he's dazzling.
Dazzling.
I think he would rescue us with his charm.
Those were such good answers.
Yes.
And thank you to our celebrity guests for actually not actually just pretending that they enjoyed talking to me and, taking the time out of their lives to do this.
Some of them are actors, right?
Ooh, shade.
I really enjoyed hearing that, because I think that you do put a lot of work into it, and I think it's nice to hear that. Yeah, it's nice to hear it from the other side, I think.
Yeah,
nice.
It's good to see that the interviews I did with people made an impression, and that they were happy to do these things.
Yeah, and to come back and give you a little question time.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Cool.
I've enjoyed it, but I'm leaving. Because it's very late.
On that
note, that was our final segment, and that was great fun. And this 100th podcast has been immense fun. I think it's been great having us all in the same room for the first time.
Weird.
It's been weird, but it's been great. Some people travelled very far to get here. Chris got the bus from Musselburgh. Kat, of course, flew up from London for this very podcast.
I walked here after a 9-hour shift.
Natalie did that. Angus, I guess, got the bus from Leith.
Yeah, I'm just kicking around anyway.
Yeah. Isaac lives here. Aaron is just up the road.
Down the road, yeah.
Andrew is...
I drove along the M8 for 10 minutes.
Yeah, you did that.
So much dedication.
Everyone made an effort to be here, and I don't know. My closing thoughts. I think everybody should have a closing thought. My closing thoughts is, if it wasn't for all you guys and the two people who aren't here that I've not mentioned, Sandy and Nick, who couldn't be here and couldn't contribute, unfortunately, but I wouldn't be able to do this without you guys, because it would just be me talking to myself, and I do enough of that already, and no one wants to hear that. So. It's great that these are all willing to come on and chat about stuff that I want to chat about, or in a number of cases, host things that I'm not involved in. That's been good. It means I don't have to do stuff or catch up with 3 seasons of a TV show in a week, which is not possible for me these days. But it's been a pleasure running this thing, and as Farah Aviva said, 200, 300, 400, 500, and so on.
She did keep on going on.
She kept going on and on. Yeah, 1,000 episodes. Can you imagine?
Well, she said it now, so we've got to do it.
1,000 episodes.
Can that include like everything though?
Count the interviews on that one.
I think by then
you
we'll
get to pick your milestones, so maybe.
By then we'll have stopped counting. Yeah, I can't imagine how long it's going to take to get to 1,000 episodes. A couple of years? No, but I want to say thank you to everybody in and out of this room, and everybody I've interviewed, everyone on YouTube who lets me poach music from them, whether they give me permission to or not.
Yeah, thank you, those guys.
Yeah, thanks to those guys.
It makes it a bit more snazzy.
Yeah, they cover stuff that's related to stuff we're talking about, so it's useful. So, that's my closing thought. Thank you, guys.
Oh,
thank you very much.
Chris to Chris.
Sorry.
We will, before we wrap up, we'll go around the room and see if everybody has a closing thought. So we'll start with Chris, who's on the computer and the microphone, producing this damn thing.
Next time, bring more microphone stands.
Is that like a memo?
That's like note to self.
Note to self, although he doesn't listen to
for like 200 podcasts, more microphone stands.
My note to myself is learn how to Facebook Live before you Facebook Live, because we kind of learned this today, sort of on the go. So perhaps for next time, have some more pizzazz to the live stream.
Don't worry, you have 899 podcasts to figure it out. We'll
That's
not do
all right.
this again for a long time. And by then, who knows what it will be? It will be like Facebook, I don't know, Facebook VR or some nonsense.
Like holograms.
People will be in this room.
Yeah,
Not this room.
we will be in their room.
Definitely not this room.
Not this room. Yeah.
I'd really like my closing thought to be the universe that I'd like to be in, but I still don't have an answer. So I guess
You had several answers.
No, I didn't for the universe. No, I didn't.
Oh, did you not?
No, I was still thinking about it. I was too slow. Maybe my thought, if it's a thought of this.
Maybe you'd like to be in this universe. You're the one of us that's happy.
The Neil Before Blog universe.
I was thinking. I did think about this universe because then I thought this universe contains all the other universes. Of which we've thought of. And so I was like, because if you exist in one of the other universes, then you deny yourself the possibility, maybe, of all of the other universes. So that did run through my head, and then that's obviously what stumped me because I didn't give an answer. I don't have an answer for it.
Okay.
However, no, I'm not. I'm just joking. Thanks for having me. That's my closing thought.
After all that. You're welcome. Final thought, Angus?
It's been a lot of fun getting to be a podcaster, and here's to the next 100.
Next 100.
Isaac. Right, I'm going to try and learn how to review so that in your podcast I'm not just like, yeah, it was alright.
Or watching Han Solo trailer breakdowns. Aaron, final thoughts?
Clearly I need to watch more zombie films, read more comics, and I need to get much more better answers by copying Angus's skills with coming up with stuff.
And lighten up a little bit.
I can't do that.
That's too
Can't
much.
embrace fun.
Experience joy.
I don't want you to change.
Okay, good. There we go.
We love you just the way you are.
She loves your Winter Olympics commentary.
Yep.
Winter Olympics? Oh, yeah.
That was about 5 hours ago. Andrew, final thought?
Well, I just have to say that I am now left with a crippling terror of having to learn how to sing in advance of our musical episode.
Yes!
Which is definitely happening.
It's definitely happening. I don't know how or what form it will take, but it will
Facebook
happen.
Live. I'm intrigued, so let's do it.
Yeah, Neil Before Blog, the musical.
Jesus, it actually is Brilliant.
It's going to be amazing.
You're going to have to get like an entire drama group as part of the Kneel Before Pod network now, so that you can do your musical episode.
No,
Hey, but you're in Edinburgh, so you can recruit one of the fringe festival people.
It's going to be us.
Companies.
It's got to be us.
Well, they can teach us stuff, though.
It's going to be me.
Can we be dubbed? Can I be dubbed in?
You could,
so
maybe.
that I can like mouth along. but
Actually,
not
meet
sing.
Chris Pratt if he'll dub along with you, and if he'll sing, I don't know if he can.
He might do. He might do. He's a fan of the podcast.
Yes, he's a huge fan. He
was going to do a scenario, but he just didn't send it in time.
He was too busy not filming Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, I
Volume
thought
3.
it's because you deleted it.
No. Okay.
You know that just so you know that if we're doing a musical episode, it'll have to be something along the lines of vaudeville with all the puns we're going to do. It's just going to be a constant list of terrible puns.
we will figure it out, or I'll figure it out.
Okay.
Perhaps I will present ideas once I have them, and then people can just not reply and pretend they haven't seen them. So, on that note, that was our 100th episode. We did a few things that were firsts. We went live for the first time, which was an experience.
Mm-hmm.
We are in the same room for the first time, which was also an experience.
Mm-hmm.
One that required building a studio in the living room that I guess our technical expert doesn't really want us to do that often.
No.
So future podcasts will be the usual sort of team speak with all the problems and advantages that brings.
Every once in a while, we can save it for a treat.
We'll save it for a treat.
Which I hope this was for those listening.
I hope it was certainly a treat for me being here, and it's great.
In your own home?
Yeah. I love being in my own home, on my couch.
Yeah,
And,
just
it's great
want everyone
that-
to know I'm working tomorrow.
It's just, I've said it before, great that everybody made the effort to be here and join in. And the team building exercise of Laser Quest that we did before was amazing.
Thank you for not having us at that.
Well, you were invited.
I was at work.
Yeah, that couldn't be helped.
I think everyone should state their Laser Quest name as a final.
As a final thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was the Punisher.
I, for some reason, picked Davros.
I was Gunny from The Expanse.
I was Grizzly.
I was Monster.
I was Dr. Weather.
And I was Pyro, which is a name I used for characters in RPG games as a teenager, purely because I enjoy setting things on fire.
He's also an X-Man villain.
I thought you were at work.
That's true.
I like him.
Also 7 till 3, and then he went
Damn
at
it.
5.
So
I was the only person who missed
okay,
it.
if you enjoy what you heard, then hit subscribe
No,
on
was it?
Facebook, YouTube. Facebook doesn't have a subscribe option. Hit like on Facebook, YouTube, any major podcasting app. We're on all of them. We're on iTunes. Leave us a review, a 5-star review, please.
Just give us a comment. I just want to know that you're there.
Leave us a comment. Yeah, let us know that you're here. I mean, at least 8 of you were at some point.
Mate, we made it to double digits.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that.
And as always, join us on the next Kneel Before Pod. And can we get a cheer?
Huzzah!
Didn't know it was that way.
Wow.
Claws, our master.